Can you imagine if we started this and on the podcast there's just dead air for a bit, but then we're like, okay, guys, check out the video. Ryan did a really funny thing. We're probably gonna do that. We'll cut out the dead space on the actual recording.
Oh, dude, I love that game.
Yo,
honestly, I do love that game too.
3 was
speaking of video, though, sorry for last week, guys. Video is now recording on both of my computers to make sure we got it in the bag. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, go over to our YouTube channel in the description, or you can just type in the Dungeon Crawl Podcast. We now come up on YouTube.
Yeah, we do. That's honestly kind of a milestone there. For a while, you'd look it up and it would be literally nowhere, even though we're super popular all the time, everywhere. This week, I am so tired of airports.
Dude, I'm so thankful for airports.
Me too.
Okay, well, screw me. 2 against 1 majority rules. Why are you thankful for airports?
Because it's Thanksgiving, man. Now's the time to be thankful. Everything that you hate, you really got to step back and think about, why is this here? You know, what does this do for the world? I'm thankful for Braxton.
Well, that's me with airports. What do they do for the world? What about that food?
I'm thankful for Dungeons and Dragons, for this podcast, man. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving.
I actually had like a small Thanksgiving dinner, and my family is neither really religious, except for my grandpa, who wasn't here this time. He was at home. But for some reason, we were still doing the whole thankful thing, which, it's Thanksgiving, so we do that.
Is it normally grandpa that leads that?
Well, he's religious, so usually he has us do a prayer, and we do it with him to respect his wishes. So blah blah blah. We are giving thanks.
Yeah, my dad does that some years, but he didn't touch it this year. He must be in a bad headspace.
Oh,
I mean, a lot of people are in bad headspaces right now.
True.
That's fair.
So for my family, they started with my dad, and he said several things. I'm like, I'm glad my kids are smart and doing good things and making money. Don't make any joke about how I'm neither of those things, please. Thank you. Okay, next. So I see you smiling. So it gets around to me, and everybody said like relatively heartfelt things for like a minute or two, and I'm like, I'm glad that I don't have to get out of bed when I start working in the morning. I'm also glad that I have video games, and I guess my family's cool. And then I ended my sentence.
I guess my family's cool.
That's literally what I said, and they were like, yeah.
Woo!
Like, nice.
Because I'm, I hide around. I don't call home as much as I should. So Thanksgiving has already passed. But if you didn't call your parents for this Thanksgiving because it's COVID and you were staying home, give your parents a call.
Give them a
your
call.
Your guardian figure a call. Whoever it is, whoever took care of you out on the streets when you were down.
Unless they're assholes, then screw them.
Yeah. If your parents not nice, fuck them.
Well, some people aren't okay. Ryan and I talk about this a lot. Some people, consider family to be a necessary thing, but if they're toxic and you can survive on your own,
grab those scissors, cut them out of your life. Well,
bye. Now
cut them. Cut them out of your life.
No, cut them as well. No, you can cut them. You can cut them.
And then maybe your D&D friends. Maybe that's your family.
Yeah. I consider you two kind of my family if you weren't gross.
Wow.
But that's neither here nor there.
Okay.
But the reason I hate airports too is because my flight yesterday got canceled. So we just got our feet out of there and went back home, and we were like, "Hey, Mom, we're back." And she was like,
"There bad storms or something?"
No, it was in a gate in the Houston airport that really reschedules their flights a lot, and lo and behold, it did it again.
That's stupid.
That's weird. That's a specific gate that does that.
Yeah, apparently my brother who's flown 26 times this year.
Jeez, man.
Barring pandemic stuff, he just has to do it for work, etc. He goes insane if he stays in one spot. We wore masks for the entire time. I'm tired of airports because I've been in and out of one like 4 times the past few days.
I don't blame you, man. Airports suck.
What
they do suck.
That's where joy goes to die.
Is it like
that in the DMV?
Yeah, true. Oh, don't even get me started on the DMV. Is it like just general airports that you don't like? Because like DFW is a pretty good airport. Like they
it's one of the biggest airports.
Got their stuff together.
I'm just tired of airports because y'all know my story.
No, he was out of Houston.
Yeah, true.
So I've been stuck in airport hell for like 5 days before, so it just wasn't good. But we are not a life advice podcast. Maybe we'll do that at some point. We really shouldn't because that's overdone. We're a D&D advice podcast. And today, like we did last week, we didn't quite finish it because it's a chonker. We were talking about Tasha's Cauldron, of everything. If you're looking at the YouTube, Ryan's got it on the screen there. Tasty. Kenneth's has the alternate version of the
cool
cover,
one.
which
I'll
is
bring that up.
better.
Yeah,
Which is better.
We'll give that.
All right, I don't know if I'd say better, but
It's better.
it's cool. I mean, it's kind of cool looking, but
we got to Fighter last time when we were going through the classes and our hodgepodge of talking about things that we found to be noteworthy, some changes here and there. We're going to jump right back into it. This might be another long episode, so feel free to, if this is the morning, grab your coffee, put it in your cup holder if you're driving to work. If not, put it on your desk.
Good morning.
Relax. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good
Nice to see
afternoon.
you.
This is
Good night.
If you want to know our opinion on the book, go back and listen to the first 10 minutes of the last podcast. We talked about that real quick.
We did do that.
Yes.
We did do that. But basically, we all pretty much liked it and gave literally 3 different opinions on it. So I don't know how hopeful that is. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. But this is the dungeon crawl where I think I'm on the left.
You're top left.
He's Ryan. That one.
He's Braxton. And that's Kenneth down there.
That's Kenneth down below.
Hello up there.
He typically joins us when we review stuff because honestly, it's a lot to go through everything on our own, and we appreciate his help because he's been doing D&D for a good bit. Chonky. Okay. Kenneth, I know you have thoughts on the fighter, so I figure we might as well start with you and just dive straight into it. Are you ready?
Yeah, I am good to go. I'm raring to go because I love fighter. I love martial classes in D&D. Really? I would rather play a martial than a spellcaster. I know that's weird, but the limited, not being able to cast magic or not being able to have really special abilities makes me think outside of the box. Like, how am I going to do this
What's
thing
your
that I want to
favorite
do?
martial class?
Probably Barbarian. I really do like Barbarian. It was my first class that I've played, and it's still fun today. Like I said in the last episode, Beast Barbarian, that is some spicy stuff. But with the fighter in here, I do like that they added the optional class features, like the fighting styles that you can get at option 1, which are blind fighting, which basically you have blind sight within a range of 10 feet. Very thematic.
Strong, too.
Yeah, it's very strong. There's interception, which is basically you can use your reaction to reduce damage to a target within 5 feet of you by 1d10 plus your proficiency bonus. And you have to be wielding a shield or a simple or martial melee weapon to use that reaction. I think that's just strictly better than the other kind of defensive fighting style in Player's Handbook. Then you got Superior Technique. This basically lets you get a Battle Master stance without being a Battle Master fighter. I'm always down for that. More options, right? Thrown Weapon Fighting, very good. Now you get a +2 bonus to damage rolls if you use a thrown ranged attack. And for nitpicky rule lawyers, you can now draw a weapon that has the thrown property as the attack with the weapon, instead of using part of your action to draw it and then the other part to throw it. It's just one swift motion. And then unarmed fighting, it basically makes your unarmed strikes deal 1d6 plus their strength modifier, or 1d8 if you're not wielding another weapon or a shield. And if you're grappling someone at the start of your turn, they take 1d4 damage.
Means now if you want to do do a fist run of D&D, you don't have to be a monk anymore.
Yeah, you don't have to be monk or anything like that.
Except you could literally be a JoJo character with one of the new monk subclasses.
Yes,
so why would you not do that?
Hey, spoilers, man. We're not there yet.
True. You also have some maneuver options for either the feat, the fighting style, the superior technique that you can pick with that, or just more stuff for a Battle Master fighter. We'll just go through them over quickly. Ambush, bait and switch, brace, commanding presence, grappling strike, quick toss, and tactical assessment. Kind of are how they sound.
Yeah. So 2 things. First, do any of these seem, he's counting, do any of these seem like they were missing before, Kenneth, from your knowledge, if you've played a fighter?
I'd say a lot of them.
Yeah, these were needed.
The fact that this is so big means that they're really going out of their way to make fighters feel more interesting.
Yeah, this is one of the chunkiest subclass or class options in this book. I really do I think that there were any missing in the PHB, or do I think there's any missing here now?
First thing you said.
Yeah, I really thought only battle masters having like archetypal moves, I think that was really kind of strung up the fighter a little bit. Everything else, I don't think, maybe a thrown weapon fighting, it wasn't needed, but it would have been nice. But they're all here now, which I really like.
Yeah, that was my thing. I was the most curious about how necessary were each of these, but by what you're saying, and I would agree, they add nothing but goodness.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. These are all very, very positive things.
Just makes you think about more stuff to do on your turn instead of just I hit the goblin.
Yeah. And second thing, sorry to cut you off. We can jump back because this is a really short statement.
Gotcha.
I mentioned last podcast that there are a lot of a certain race in some of these pictures. A young fighter spars with an instructor. This picture of a young red-headed boy with a sword and shield is fighting a Zweihander wielding wooden-styled tiefling fighter.
Messed up.
Another tiefling. There are so many tieflings in these arts.
They know people like their tieflings.
Tasha's got a thing for tieflings. Telling you. Okay, we can continue now. I'm sorry. Okay, so we left off talking about the maneuver options.
Mm-hmm. And one last thing. At 4th level, instead of like whenever you level up to replace ability score improvement, you can now replace a fighting style that you know. So like if you were like you pick the archering fighting style and you know you're going into like the Underdark or something and you level up and you know you won't be using archery a lot, you can change it to something else, like Great Weapon Master or one of these other fighting styles, which I really like because a lot of the time, as if you play a fighter, you have an idea in your head about what kind of build you want to do, right? Like you either want to use great weapon fighting or like be an archer or be kind of sneakier or like a dex, like dex build, strength build, stuff like that. But with fighters in general, and at least in 5th edition, they really want it. WotC really wants to make the fighter seem like an all-around, like you're good with every weapon, which you are. So I do like that you can change your fighting style whenever you upgrade your ability score improvement. And since you're a fighter, you get that more than any other class. So it really shows like you can be very versatile, right? Like if a new player joins the group and they want to be an archer, like, okay, I'll step back. I'll do like sword and shield or something. I really like that.
Yeah, with fighter, I mean, when I heard that originally, and however I'd seen it in video games previously, they had literally just been the sword and shield dude, the most basic shit ever. So I was really surprised when I first got into D&D however many years ago that fighter, like Kenneth said, is kind of the jack of all trades, master of all sometimes. And the changes that they've been bringing with spells with a lot of classes where they can change them on a level up or on a long rest, I guess they wanted to give more tools to fighters like into spells just in the forms of martial arts, etc., and allow them to change as well. So that's super cool. I wouldn't be able to think of that. However,
more options are good.
More options are good. I mean, that's literally what this book is.
Yes.
Yeah. But is that all for the class features itself, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's it.
Going into the subclasses.
Yeah, going into the subclasses. This book features 2 fighter subclasses, the Psy Warrior and the Rune Knight. And I think it's the Rune Knight. It's either Rune Warrior or Rune Knight.
Rune Knight.
It's Rune Knight.
They add a lot of stuff that fighters have been lacking. All except one. Eldritch Knight, you get like spells, right? You get kind of versatility. You can do stuff out of combat. Psy Warrior and Rune Knight are both very good at giving you something to do out of combat and being more versatile. Like with Psy Knight, you have psionics, you can like levitate stuff. Rune Knight, the runes that you get affect you out of combat as well as in combat. And I love that with fighter. I love that. Like, how many times have you played like a martial class and the group is doing like role play like in a city and you're just sitting there,
just stupid
kind of waiting,
heavy dude in the background. Yeah,
just kind of waiting for a fight.
You got the brawn. I could certainly use a fighter in the game that Ryan runs for me on our personal time. None of us are strong. There's a place for it, but I get what you're saying.
No, I get it, but if the fighter just is only good at fighting and your campaign isn't a lot of fighting, they don't really have anything to contribute outside of combat. Which is fine. You can contribute role-playing stuff all you want, but just with mechanically, right?
Yeah. No, I understand what you're saying.
And if
So-
Divinity has taught me anything, the psionic power of telekinetic movement is extremely useful.
Yes.
Game breaking is what it is, and I love it so much.
Yeah.
There's a couple of gauntlets that anytime I play co-op with people, I'm like, okay, look, give me those gauntlets, please. And they're like, why? I'm like, no, shh. It's okay. And then I get them, and I proceed to teleport the person, my co-op player.
Uh-huh.
And they
It's
regret
useful.
the choice, but it is useful. So let's air it out and say it now, what I'm thinking. I know we're all thinking this about the Psy Warrior, and it might be controversial, but it's literally a warlock.
I don't think we're thinking that.
Let it sink in.
No, none of us were thinking that.
Let it sink in. You let it sink. Did it sink in?
Yep.
It's a warlock.
Nope.
No.
There's no patrons. There's no lack of spell slots.
Okay. Hey, they have a. All right. We'll shit on warlocks in a second, but I just wanted to make that little joke here. I like the Psionic Warrior, though. I think he's cool. But I'm a little biased.
Mhm.
I think it's my favorite type of a fighter that I've ever seen. I'm the opposite of Kenneth. I've never cared for the fighter ever. I
I
always
played
find
it once and liked it. But
I
that's
always
because
feel it's boring. Just looking at it, it just gives me the boring vibes. But Psy Warrior, that's what I'm talking about.
All right. Okay.
What do we want to point out? Like all just the features of here, or do you want
If there's
to?
something that you like in it,
something
bring
that
it up.
stands out.
The psionic sprites are cool. They all the psionic stuff is very cool flavorful wise, and I like that they scale with you.
Now,
like
correct me
the
if
die
I'm wrong
scales
though, Braxton. Wasn't the die different in Unearthed Arcana?
The die was pretty much not really a thing in Unearthed Arcana.
Oh, I might be thinking of a different
Really?
psionic one then.
Yeah, there was a different psionic with die. Let me see, from magically augment psychic warrior. When I was reading through it, there was pretty much no mention of the die at all in the Unearthed Arcana for the Psy Warrior himself. So for this, I was really excited that they brought them in, because previously you would have abilities that had a certain amount of limit to them, just within it, like within a long rest or based off your intelligence modifier. And changing over to this, they made it, you have Psy Duck. Avoiding that joke, you have die that you can use,
Right.
and it makes you have more flexibility with these abilities. So that's the biggest change I think they brought to this and a future class that we'll talk about. I really like this side.
Kind of makes me feel like an X-Men this class.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah,
protecting
I
your
get
people
that
is a
X-Men
good-
vibe.
I get
from
it too,
from
yeah.
the picture we
cool.
got here, this high elf Psy Warrior, he looks a little X-Men-ish. a little
Yeah,
campy.
he does look cool.
I like it.
I
think that. Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead, please.
No, go
Fine,
ahead.
Let me take the stage. You're not getting back on. Just letting you know.
That's fine. Hey, I'll
However
stand back.
simple and small it was, I really like the telekinetic movement, because as a warlock, to be able to get that, you have to take 2 invocations that alter your Eldritch Blast to get the same amount of control. And this is something you can do with your side dice.
Well, look at the 18th level thing, man. It gets even stronger.
Yeah. So
Telekinesis.
they used to have something else within the Unearthed Arcana. For the 18th level, it was Psychic Dreadnought. And it allowed you to have these things for 1 minute until you were incapacitated, etc. It's like you go Juggernaut for a bit. At the start of your turn, you regain 10 hit points. What do you do at 18th level? That's like piss change. Your walking speed increases by 10 feet, and if you're prone, you can stand up by spending 5 feet of movement.
That's ass.
I remember it being weak. Yeah.
How
That's
dumb is
terrible.
that?
For 18th
And then-
level. I could see it being like a 14th level thing, but
Even maybe
18?
lower, but it would be strong at that point. But
Get
for
the fuck
Telekinetic
outta here.
Master, you can cast Telekinesis with no components, and your spellcasting ability modifier for it is intelligence, etc. And it just buffs it up.
and when you
And
cast it, you
you're-
still get to attack as a bonus action.
Oh, so much better. So I'm glad that they changed that. And in terms of key changes, that's the biggest one. That's the only one that they really did. But they added some new things. 30 feet here, psionic die there. Telekinetic movement is entirely new. Psi-powered leap's entirely new. Guarded mind is pretty much entirely new. They really, really changed the psionic classes. As
play
you'll
this
notice in
guy.
another one. I would do it for sure. For sure. What is next though? The
Now,
Rune Boy?
I would
Okay.
play the Sign Knight if the Rune Knight wasn't here.
Really? See, I don't like the
Yes.
Rune Knight.
What?
Well, I think it's okay. I don't know. Yeah,
Why
I
don't
wouldn't
you
play the
like
Rune
it?
Knight. To me, I guess, you'd think this would make me want to play it. It doesn't feel like a fighter at all, but I do think that's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's like a typical fighting class. I think there's more involved. To me, it just felt slightly lackluster. Maybe your explanation and why you like it might sway me the other way.
Well, to start off, first, they removed almost nothing from the Unearthed Arcana, and they just put things in. All right, Kenneth, take it away.
Yeah, I remember in Unearthed Arcana, Hill Rune and Storm Rune were like you could still get them at first level, right? Instead of 7th now.
Yeah,
you have to wait off.
The structuring.
This is basically giant fighter, right? Like if you want to be like have giant blood in you, or be God of War, right? Be Kratos, deal with runes and all that.
Giants.
Yeah, This is the fighter for you. Or if you want to be a fighter in Icewind Dale, this could slot in very nicely with that, I think.
Oh yeah.
Or a Harry Potter one shot. This is Hagrid.
Hagrid. Yeah, honestly, I could see that. Yeah.
I swear Ryan pronounces things weird just to fuck with us.
Or you could be an unarmed fighter, like and just have like runes like scarred into your body that you could do.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So you get Smith's tools and you can speak and read and write giant. Very flavorful stuff. You get the meat of this, or one of the meats. There's 2 meats for this class at 3rd level. You get runes, and at third level you get 2 runes between cloud, fire, frost, stone, hill. Not hill and storm as are later. But these runes are basically you attune them like on a weapon, piece of armor, shield, something like that. And all the DCs on them are based off your con modifier. So you're already loving that because you're a fighter. You're gonna have high constitution anyways.
Yeah, gigantic.
Getting gigantic. Literally, because another part of the second ability at 3rd level is Giant Smite. You can use a bonus action to basically for 1 minute. If you're smaller than large, you just become large along with anything you're wearing. If you lack the room to become large, your size doesn't really change. You have advantage on strength checks. No Alice in Wonderland. You have advantage on strength checks and saving throws. And once on each of your turns, one of your attacks with a weapon or unarmed strike, I really like that unarmed strike there, can deal an extra 1d6 damage. You can do it a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, like we see with the rest of the book, and you get it on a long rest.
This is like the fighter equivalent of raging.
It is the fighter equivalent of raging, but you get less damage. I mean, you do get the d6, which I guess adds like the +2 bonus damage from the rage. But you also get the runes, which I had to read again. They come back on a short rest. Yeah. Because if you have a rune carved into you, you still get the bonuses from like outside of combat. Like the cloud rune, you get advantage on sleight of hand and deception checks.
That is really cool.
So what you're saying is Braxton was wrong. This is the warlock.
I was gonna make that joke.
Short rest. The best
They're both
one.
warlocks.
They are both warlocks. The best one that doesn't really give you like outside of combat stuff, the fire rune. It gives you like tool proficiency bonus, and your proficiency is doubled for uses on that. That could be useful. But it's the best in combat because it does 2d6 damage to a creature, and they're restrained for 1 minute.
Yeah.
Like they get to do the save at the end of each of their turns, but at the start of each of its turns. But being restrained at 3rd level,
it's
like come on, that's very good.
Hell, what level is Hold Person? Is it 3rd level spell?
Hold Persons is a 2nd level spell, I think. Right?
Yeah, and Hold Monster is like a 4th.
I don't get to pick a lot of spells. So I don't know a lot of them because I am a warlock.
But I know a lot of people are doing the build of like you're a Dwerger and you pick this class.
Say that again.
Dwerger.
That's probably a good pronunciation, but it sounds silly.
So you're smaller than large. You do bonus action Giant Smite, you become large. Then you cast Enlarge Reduce on yourself and become like huge, I think is the size for it. So you're just a giant dwarf. All the other stuff is pretty cool, like Runic Shield. You get you can use your reaction to force the attacker to reroll the d20.
That's new.
Oh, it is?
That part itself is new.
Cool.
And that doesn't have... Hold on. Oh, you can use it a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus. Okay.
So the reason why I think this is lackluster is because it's all short rest stuff. Because
shitting on warlocks?
No. Hang on. If you're in a dungeon, a long dungeon, you might not be able to use it that much.
What do you mean?
Well,
Why?
You're still a fighter.
That's true. That's true.
Why wouldn't you be able to use it?
Why
that
wouldn't you
much?
want to? Why would I not choose a different fighter? You know?
Why would no? Hold on. We got to get to the core of this. Why would you not be able to use it as much?
Because
short rests.
Yeah, because what if the party wants to keep moving? You know, have someone
Stop.
cast catnap on you for 10 minutes. There you go.
We're gonna shit on warlocks in a second. Okay, now is not the time.
No, I think warlocks
Now
are
is
fine.
not the time.
Well, so here's the thing: if that upsets you, Ryan, then at level 15 you can just wait until
I'm
level
upset.
15, and you
There
can
you go.
invoke him twice instead of once.
That's much better.
Right,
Like, there you go.
Listen, I need to talk about the level 18 one real quick though.
Sure.
Real quick. So the original from Unearthed Arcana was you are able to share your ability, this growing big giant might thing, with
Yeah, I
one willing
remember that.
creature
That
within
was
60
cool.
feet of you. Yeah, cool. Got 2 big boys. Awesome. Increases your reach. Everything's really great. They said no. They said you learn how to amplify your rune power transformation, and you now deal extra damage with your Giant's Might feature. Increases to 1d10, which is cool. Awesome. Moreover, whenever you use that feature, you can go to huge. You are now huge,
Mhm.
and your reach is increased by 5 feet. So not only do you take up more space, your reach starts from those large spaces you go from, which already increases your reach,
Mhm.
but now you get an extra 5 feet. You're big,
You're God.
so you can't share it
Um,
anymore. You're
if
literally a giant.
If you're using a grid, I'm pretty sure huge is 3x3.
yeah, it's
squares.
really big.
Yeah, you're
So
you're
you basically
big
get another
chunker.
10 feet of reach on top of whatever you got from the reach that you had before.
And if you're a dwarger,
Dwarg-
you're gargantuan, baby. You're gargantuan once you use that enlarge reduce on yourself. Also, can we just
Are you sure? It says your size can increase to huge. Can increase to huge. So I think it stops at huge. If you're already huge,
With
you can't
enlarge?
pass it.
We got to get Jeremy Crawford
Oh, with
in here.
enlarge. With
Yeah.
enlarge, yeah. But the
Mhm.
ability itself only allows us to go to huge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
Order of operations.
I do like just it's so dumb. The 10th level feature. The magic of your runes permanently alters you. When you gain this feature, roll 3d4. You grow a number of inches in height equal to that roll.
It's cute.
And then you just deal a d8 instead of a d6 when you're a giant.
It's cute.
I mean,
like it.
I'll always accept more damage, but like 3d4 inches? I mean,
Like,
that's
you're getting
yeah.
close to the giant size.
Yeah,
Yeah,
true.
man, you're
It's
growing.
flavorful. I like it.
I would take a little bit of extra height. I'm like 5'9". I could be 5'10".
Short ass.
You would roll 3 ones, Braxton.
I'm not doing that right now. That'll take up too much time. Let's get off the fighter. I'm tired of him.
Well,
Well, we got to talk
I-
about these
tired.
builds, man.
I want to talk about these builds.
Okay, fine.
This
there's
is what-
there's some problems in here.
It rustles my jimmies. It rustles them, man. It rustles them.
Wait,
So
they give you build? I didn't even see this.
Yeah.
We've talked about this, man.
So yeah,
listen, I don't listen to you when you talk to me, anyways.
wow. So in the book, they give you battle master builds that you can. If you're a battle master, you can like say I want to be like a duelist. This is like what
yeah, it's
the
definitely
fighting
get people
styles
more
they take.
interested to hopping the fight. Like, all right, just drag and drop. This is what I want to be.
But here's the thing: take duelist for example. They give you the fighting style dueling, 2-weapon fighting. Makes sense. The maneuvers, evasive footwork, feinting attack, lunging attack, parry, precision attack, riposte. Very flavorful of a duelist. Feats: defensive duelist, in the name, dual wielder, observant, savage attacker, weapon master.
Yep, there's a couple with that on there, isn't there?
Yes, there is. Weapon master, if you don't know, it lets you earn proficiency for 3 weapons, correct?
Yeah, I think so.
You're a
Something like
fighter.
that.
You will have proficiency with all weapons.
With all of them, yeah.
all of them.
Regardless of how many extra proficiencies this feat gives you, it's already too many.
Mm-hmm.
It's already useless.
Okay. Now, let's just they decided to throw this in for fun. Okay.
No, use a different feat, Watsy. Understand your fucking game. That's what I'm saying.
Gladiator. There's one. So there's 2 right now. What else? What else we
There's
got?
at least
What else
those
we
two,
got?
yeah.
That might be it.
I think that's it. Somehow that snuck through.
It's fine. It's okay. Listen,
It just
they just okay. Let's have some laughs. Hoplite. How funny of a name is that?
That's not funny, man. That comes back from Greek history.
I think that's a
How do you
hoplite.
know this?
What? How
Is
do
it
I
actually?
know?
Yeah.
How do you know this?
No, it's from
Because
Greece.
it's history, man.
Not everybody knows history.
It's the spear guy.
Is it?
I'm pretty sure it's a spear and shield guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you
haven't
ever
started
played
reading until
Total
this
War
now.
with-
Rome?
With
No.
spear and shield, you follow the footsteps of the heroes of ages past.
Oh my god.
Maybe I didn't read that part.
It's
'cause
Theros.
Warlock was coming up.
You know
gonna-
Theros though.
I do, but it's been a little
It's just,
bit.
just stuff like that. Just like the weapon master. Like if you're into the game, right?
They put a lot in here.
If you
Yeah.
are, if you're interested and this is your first time playing and you pick up Tasha's, right? You're like, oh, I want to be a
There's 12.
duelist. That seems like a cool fighting style to be. And you pick it and you're like, okay, look through these feats. I'll take Weapon Master first. You take it, you say, hey DM, this is what I'm taking. You flip through the book, you're like, oh.
The DM judges you harshly.
You're like, oh.
Hopefully they don't.
Hopefully they don't. And your DM might be like, no, like that's what you picked. You should
It's
have
like,
read
yeah.
the book.
Don't do it. Now I'd probably tell my player, you realize what this does, right? If they want to still take it, then they're like,
God,
hey, it's in Tasha's. I want to take this, man.
Right?
Would you tell them?
Yeah, I'd mention
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely. If they're new, definitely.
If
I
not,
like the
they're
idea.
fucked.
I like the idea of these builds, right? I do. It makes the Battle Master, other than like Precision Strike, Riposte, like all the main ones that people take. But come on, WotC. Like you're
I just like the Archer
shipping
one. That's a
you're
better
sh-
Ranger class than the Ranger.
Which one?
The Archer one.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
the life from your eyes, man, just left. It's
Oh boy.
guys, you're paying $50 for this book. Like proofread your books, WotC. Like it make it look like you care, right?
This is almost as much as a video game.
Yeah. That's
think
my
about
rant.
that.
My rant's over about WotC and their shitty editors. I guess is what it is. I don't know. Or they
Playtesters,
just don't know
maybe.
their game. Like
Cool.
Jeremy Crawford, come on their podcast and defend
careful.
yourself.
Hold on. Okay.
No, call him
If
out.
he actually did that, I wouldn't know what to. Okay, yeah, all right, fine. Jeremy Crawford, get your booty.
He probably had nothing to do with this.
No.
That's
no,
very true.
probably not. Yeah.
But he should
That's
have.
very
It's probably just
very
it's probably
true.
just got missed over.
Yeah, he probably
But,
read
you
through
know-
it. I was like, yeah, this looks great.
It irks me.
Irks. That's a good word.
Irks.
So, Ryan, I want to ask you something.
Yeah, can I take off my slippers first?
Sure. Yeah, go ahead. Get nice and comfortable. You're gonna need to sit down for this one. He actually just took off the slippers and put him in the
Nasty
frame. you cheeky
lad,
bastard.
bro.
Can I ask my question now?
Yeah, go ahead.
What's the next class?
Oh.
Monk.
Okay. If you go back to one of our earlier Northrop classes where Monk is in there, we have a bit where I'm very confused at his pronunciation. Did you see that coming, Ryan?
Yeah, weird.
Okay, good.
Monk.
We're on the same wave. We've been doing a podcast for like a year and a half now. So I hope he can pick up on my jokes. We got the Monk next. Yay.
Yeah.
Yay.
So if I were to play another class, or you would say like Braxton, you like Warlock so much, but you're basically playing a polearm monk. I would say no, but I'm lying. I basically am. Monks are pretty cool. I'm just gonna say it.
So you'd be
They're pretty
you'd be a monk if you weren't a warlock
I might. I don't know.
because of the JoJo reference.
Mm.
That may or may not have something to do with it. I don't know about that. But I didn't look at the class features that much. Let's go over those with both of your insights, so I can reflect.
More stuff
and
to use
bounce
key
off
with. Move on.
Yeah.
Clicking two lanes, pretty cool.
I want to talk about dedicated weapon.
that. Oh,
Okay.
okay.
That whole feature, that's just basically the Kensei monk, isn't it? From Xanathar's? Like,
Is it?
Kensei monks always, like, you dedicate yourself to, like, weapons that other monks don't use and stuff like that. Like, you're one with your weapon. And then they just, like, plop,
Yeah,
here's a
similar
feature,
idea for
dedicated
sure.
weapon.
Dedicated weapon.
Dedicated weapon.
I guess
You
it's
know,
just
it
so if you
sometimes
want
happens.
to
Yeah.
not be that class.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
I get it. I get
Which
it.
is something that they do in this book. If you don't want to be a class, you just go.
You
They-
just
I
steal
want
someone
that.
else's.
It's a
Yeah.
buffet. Nothing is sacred. Foreshadowing.
Here's
Whatever.
the thing that's weird to me that I just noticed. With the 5th level monk feature, focused aim, you can spend 1 to 3 key points if you miss an attack, and increase the attack roll by 2 for each of these key points. We haven't really seen stuff like that, have we?
No.
It's usually like roll a die and increase that by that much, or reduce it
Well,
by
you've
that
got
much, right?
spells like shield. Doesn't it do +2?
It does +5.
Yeah, but that's
Never
that's
mind.
not for your role.
Mm-mm. Yeah, that's like for your a
Valid.
static number. This is like increase your roll by 2. That's weird. I mean, I like it.
I think, and we've said this about one of the other classes, I can't remember which one, but this is not a class that a new player should ever take.
Yeah.
There's so many key points and so many things you can do with your key points that you really got to pay attention to. I would be easily overwhelmed if I started with a monk.
I do really like the classes like sorcerer, monk, that have extra like things to spend other than spell slots and like
yeah,
points.
for sure.
I really like that. But
I mean, this is to say that a new player probably shouldn't pick it up, but you could play D&D once or twice and get into this. It's not like insanely complicated.
Yeah, it's just not something I would like. If a new player came to me and said, "What class should I take?" Probably wouldn't be on the top of my list.
No, definitely not.
Don't do it. So we're getting into the monastic traditions, which are basically the subclasses for monks. This is what they do their lives. Oh yeah. So right off the bat, if I recall from what I read about this, I A, liked it a lot. B, they gutted it from Unearthed Arcana.
It's still very strong, I think.
It's
still very strong, but gutted, I mean, they just cut everything out, took a transplant organ from them, another class, or from wherever in the ether they got it, and put it in this guy. It's a different class altogether.
I like it.
But not really. I like it a lot. It's really cool. It's focused on like being, you think of mercy, right? And you're like, all right, mercy, you're like having it on your foes. You don't kill them all the way. No. Sometimes killing a hoe, a guy, whoever the hell, is giving them mercy, man. You are
also healing. You
Kill
also can help your friends.
Yeah.
I like that it's the duality is what I'm getting at.
Yes. It's a good mix.
Good. Yeah. It's like, I'll punch you. Let me punch my friend real quick next to me so I can heal them.
Make it nice and even. Yeah, that part was weird to me. There's the Hand of Healing specifically and the inside of this Hand of Healing and Hand of Harm, you basically can at one point during your flurry of blows, whatever it's called, spend a key point to do one of these things, right?
Yeah.
So during your flurry of blows, which is meant to damage, right?
Yes. Yeah, you're hitting somebody.
You're hitting somebody. And you decide, I'm going to do Hand of Healing. Now, for those of you that are watching the video right now, you're literally going punch, 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 and your friend, you go punch, heal, punch, 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 punch.
I like to envision it like you're punching, quick slap your buddy, and then keep going.
I literally wrote, this is hilarious to me in the thing, is that you can do that.
Also, with the art here, like it's like a plague doctor, like you have vials on you. I can see
so
like
cool.
you're like punching someone, and you like quickly take out a vial and like, throw it at your friend or something.
Yeah, vial.
No, it's a healing hand of healing. You go if they're accepting of it, and they can take it.
As we'll read later on, there's a whole section on personalizing your spells. Why not personalize your features as well?
Hand of healing, hand of butt slap, hand of good face slap.
Good game out there. Good game out there.
I just think it's so funny. Or like you poke them in the eyes. You're like, you're healed. Be healed. It's so funny to me just envisioning this. Or like a JoJo character. You could play, what's it called? What's his name? Well, Diamond's Unbreakable. Josuke. You could play Josuke for this class. Kenneth, I know you're smiling. Look at it. He's smiling. I think these guys are cool. So they started gutting this to the point where Noxious Aura, a lot of these specifically damaging abilities, they took out. They wanted this mostly to be focused on
more support,
doing healing, because you can already deal damage a lot as a monk. So they took Noxious Aura out, which like shan out this AoE that could hurt your friends, and it just kind of didn't play well. And they replaced it with Flurry of Healing and Harm, where you can now do more flurries of punches and more options to hit and harm things, which is really cool. They got rid of Hand of Mercy before. Yeah, go ahead.
I like this monk class more than. Well, I'd recommend it more to a newer player if they were to be a subclass of a monk. They're set on it. This would be one I would recommend because it has more of a specific identity. Like you know what you're doing, you're hitting, and then occasionally you can drop in you're usually gonna be dropping flurry of blows when you can, and then hitting a heal on your buddy. That's usually your game plan.
The tough thing though is that positioning is really important to this guy.
Yeah.
Because you just won't be able to use your features unless you're near somebody. And
you got a fighter with you, paladin, big tank boy next to you. Beautiful.
What happens if you play in your class? You have a twin or a really close friend, and you're both this guy.
Cute.
How funny would that be? You're just healing each other. Fist bump is your Hand of Healing.
Oh, that's cute.
Come on.
You both went to the same monastery.
Yeah,
And
it's so good.
And we can say, like, you don't... It says if you use your flurry of blows, it just doesn't spend a key point to, like, heal them. Usually you can just go up to touch someone and it heals them, right? Let's see. The one that you actually do have to hit is with the Hand of Harm.
Yep.
Which I do just like the image of you just punching your friend, right? Level 6, the Physician's Touch is very good.
Oh, it's a strong boy. And that's just straight out of...
Is it?
No, that's brand new. So they got rid of Noxious
Okay.
Aura, and this is its replacement. So
I think
feel free to explain if you want to.
So basically, when you use your Hand of Healing, or you touch them, or flurry of blows, hit them, you can end a disease or one of the following: blinded, deafened, paralyzed, poisoned, or stunned.
It's pretty potent.
That's very good.
Very potent.
And then when you use your Hand of Harm on a creature, they don't need a save or anything. They just have the poison condition until the end of your next turn.
Yep.
That's good.
Pretty spicy. I want to talk about an elephant on this guy. Is the Hand of Mercy, the 17th level feature that they got in Unearthed Arcana. That, if you spent 4 key points and they failed a Constitution save, whoever you use this on goes catatonic for a number of days equal to your monk level until you end the effect early. That's a really cool ability, but broken as hell in a lot of situations. Don't like an NPC, want to steal his stuff? Boop.
Yeah.
Instant, basically dead.
Incapacitated,
Okay.
at least, yeah.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane. So they gutted that and then added Hand of Ultimate Mercy. Good naming. And essentially, this allows you to revive somebody?
For 5 key
Yes.
points.
For 5 key points, and if they died within the past 24 hours, they come back up to life with 4d10 HP plus your wisdom and get rid of those effects from the previous thing. And you can do it once every long rest. Wow.
I mean, 17th level, right?
That is very true. But that's frequent. And we really need to play a game with 17th level to get a reference for how strong these abilities are.
I feel like once you get to this level, the cleric, whatever, if you have had them in your party for this time, have been reviving
Very
people
true.
for levels and levels and levels.
But
Yeah.
here's the thing. Most cleric, I think all of the like revivification, like revivify, resurrection, reincarnate, I think that all takes like at least like 10 minutes, an hour, whatever.
And components.
And
This
components. This is just an action. So like if your friend
Revivify,
just fails,
Yeah, you could run up and revivify somebody.
doesn't revivify take a minute or?
No, it's an action.
Okay.
And do they come straight up or
That's
they just
the
stabilize?
that's the holy shit. I gotta get there in 60 seconds and save this guy before he dies or something.
And that's like after a minute, then they're gone, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Within the last minute. Yeah.
I definitely play this class.
It seems cool.
I love the support nature of it. This person, I think, could be pretty critical, especially if you need healers.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's just
Fun
kind of
times.
an extra little hit
And
of
like-
healing.
And they're fast too. Monks are just generally fast. So hit someone, run to go save your friend, or
You get alert
yeah,
for this class and then just zoom everywhere.
they're like the field medic that you see like running from place to place, like reviving people and like healing people. I get that like medic, like battlefield medic vibe from them.
So, do we need to talk about the JoJo reference?
We've
No?
talked about it, right?
We talked about it in the Unearthed Arcana before. The Way of Astral Self Monk is basically just JoJo. Like early JoJo, like part 2 and part 3 JoJo, where they're more physical abilities before they get kind of crazy, where they do in part 4 and 5. Astral Self. You want fancy, cool spectral arms, and then spectral armor, and then spectral existence? This is your guy. You can do a lot of punches. This is your
Extremely
guy.
powerful monk.
This is one of those classes I feel like you could plug and play a lot of stuff, and it gets really broken. Like min-maxers with
Yeah,
look at this
I think we
dude,
told us on the Unearthed Arcana that it can break real quick.
They can break real quick.
but they've
And
definitely
they didn't change too
made-
much.
Yeah, I think they've made it not as breakable, but I think just like with the
Diamond
other
is
monk
unbreakable?
classes. What'd you say?
Sorry,
Matt?
that's a title of
Dumb.
one of the.
Dumb.
Kenneth, you
Haven't-
love part
haven't seen it.
4. Okay.
But what I'm trying to say is I think if a player picks this, they need to be ready with everything they can do. Because otherwise this will bog down the game very quickly.
Yeah, it boils down to you do a lot of things and a lot of punches a lot of times. We could explain
lots
it
of
as much as we
arms.
want, but at certain levels, you get certain abilities that your armor grants you. Like for actual sight, you get both magical and non-magical dark vision. You get advantage on certain checks like wisdom and charisma, and word of the spirit, where you're able to speak direct words of your choice to somebody you can see within 60 feet, and they just know you, or you can amplify your voice, stuff like that. They cut out a couple of things that seemed kind of broken before, and honestly, it's kind of complicated, and it would take a good amount of time to go through on the podcast here. But if you want to look at the changes they have, they altered Arms of the Astral Self, altered Awakening of the Astral Self, Words of the Spirit, and they got rid of some of the Armor of the Spirit and key consumption things from the final ability as well. So those are things that you should take a look at if you are interested to see the changes here. But for this class, you two, do you like it at least? I know it's strong, but...
Yeah.
I do.
I actually play in a campaign with Jamie, and she plays this one. She plays the Way of the Astral Self, the UA one.
Wow.
It's strong. She's like a courtesan, Way of the Astral Self monk, and she uses like silks instead of astral arms. It's very flavorful. It seems good because she like hits people like 10 feet away, 5 feet. Like they have the reach. It seems fun. It seems very good as well. So I'm down for it.
It's a lot of damage mitigation and improvement to your body and yourself, which
Body.
oh boy,
it's
I think
very
exciting.
it's very like monkey.
Wow,
that's
good thing it's a monk class.
Thank goodness.
Oh
right?
man, Watsy, you saw this and said it was a monk class, and you put it there. Good job.
I could just see like your character or like a story arc or something. You go into a monastery on the astral plane, and it's just a bunch of these guys.
Damn.
Yeah.
I think that's legit.
One of the things I like from Japanese history specifically are these Buddhist monks or just monks in general that would go travel around and like do the meditation under the waterfalls, make a haiku to all the beautiful scenery that they have. If you've played Ghost of Tsushima, that happens itself. I would probably play a guy like that for this class, and I would flavor it with my DM as like I would go through these training sessions and sit down and do these little poses, and eventually I would sprout new abilities, which I think is pretty cool. But I mean, if you're interested, check this guy out, see the ways you can break it. I overall just think it's a really solid class, and I would play as it. On to the next.
Yeah, man. Let's move this train along.
Oh god, I thought Warlock was next. I actually got nervous. It's Paladin.
We got a few more classes.
Along.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
We're on Paladin,
where
then
we
we got
at?
Ranger, then we got Rogue, then we got Sorcerer, then we got Warlock.
Yeah. There's quite a bit.
I'm gonna have an aneurysm.
At this
Oh,
rate,
boy.
this is going to happen in another week.
Do you think we can finish this?
Yeah. We got
Depends on how quickly we just gotta keep moving. That's what we gotta do.
Okay. Yeah, we went through that last one pretty quickly. So next we are on Paladin. Let me scroll down in my notes here. Another tiefling.
Dude, I just
Tiefling
want to
Paladin
point out,
of Glory.
we passed a lot of pictures that have not been tieflings. You're just you're
biased.
eagle eyeing.
The other ones have been dwarfs, humans, elves,
half
tiefling
orcs.
show up.
There was a half orc in there.
One.
There was a
There have been
dragonborn.
like 5 or 6
Dragonborn.
tieflings. There have been like 5 or 6 tieflings.
Also, I love this. Just saying, I love this art for this paladin.
because it's
Yep.
tiefling.
Very flavorful.
Okay.
What do you guys think of the paladin stuff?
Are we skipping the class features?
No, he's asking right now, man. Blind sight. You get blind sight just like the fighter did.
Blind fighting stuff, yeah. I
Blind
like you can get cantrips as well. You can do you can expend a channel divinity to get spell slots.
That's
Is
very
that
strong.
worth it?
How often do you hear Daniel in our game using channel divinity? Exactly.
Not.
Channel
You're
divinity is
right.
usually for like clerics.
It's just not used often.
No.
They're very
More uses
niche
for okay.
paladins.
Cool. Yeah, they did the same thing with the warlock spell slot and tried to give you invocations for it, and it's just like stop.
I think
Too many.
it's good.
Ooh. Yeah, it seems really great. As I read through this, I hated it, but I was like, ooh, I'm starting to get interested in more things other than warlock, but I keep going down to my buddy. You just need some better stuff. So for the paladin, if we're going through, getting to the sacred oath, these are
Oath
the
of Glory?
subclasses. Oath of Glory. This is out of not
Theros.
Zendikar,
Theros.
Theros, the Greek-themed Magic the Gathering World one that came out.
We
correct?
do need a Zendikar plane though. But
Wasn't that in there? Didn't that happen? No, that was Avarice or something like that.
Ravnica.
That's what I came in. Can't remember. So it was a good time. Oath of Glory. You got your tenets. It tells you what you can do. That's boring. Do those whatever you want. But you get some spells.
That's the whole point of being not the whole point, but that's a very important part of being a paladin is those tenets, man. If you break those tenets, you lose all your abilities.
All right, here we're going to run through actions over words. Challenges are but tests. Hone the body, discipline soul. Believe it or not, they changed some of these from Unearthed Arcana. Why? I don't know.
To make it more role play.
Yeah.
But they changed it. They made it more open so that you can take these and apply it into more varieties.
So it sounds rigid.
Rather than it implying you should have a certain personality type, it makes it things that are a lot more flexible for you. So I do know why they changed it. That's why. Good stuff. Good things there. Love it. Yes, Kenneth?
I'm just saying, they didn't change anything with Theros, did they? Because I know they changed some of the Artificer stuff. I don't know if they changed
this was in Unearthed Arcana, though.
Yes, I know, but it got printed in the Theros book. Yeah.
Well, cool. I don't know. I didn't check that. I'll have to.
I didn't check it either. So
That was not my job.
I didn't check it either.
They probably didn't change anything.
Nah, if they did, then that would be kind of weird, but they've done it, as we've found out, and I don't agree with it. This guy's really cool.
Yeah, I think it's can be very powerful. I mean, even the small little bonus to speed there can dramatically change how combat goes.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're chasing some jackass.
I always forget how good speed is, to be honest.
Speed's, you don't want to play a gnome or halfling with the 25 speed, man.
Are you talking about the level 7 stuff? The aura?
Yes. Yeah.
Why is the aura 5 feet when like all of the other paladins are 10 feet?
I don't know. I guess so. You're all like running arm in arm. I don't know.
But you're
I just imagine everybody like running like a conga line
at the Olympics.
You're all about glory, though. Like, why are you trying to help other people, man?
Well, I think it's maybe at 5 feet. You're helping yourself,
man. They just happen to be within your presence. You've seen Hunter x Hunter, how they have like an aura that
haven't.
Nobody cares. Okay. Basically, this is your presence, and it's so inspiring that other people can't help but be affected by it. You don't choose to.
I could
just
see
you being amazing.
I could see this class being like a Chad, right?
Yeah,
it is literally a Chad.
I like the level 20th ability. It's very flavorful.
It is.
Using the legends and like, emboldening yourself.
I love all the paladins 20s.
Yeah, they better.
I'm amazed that it gets 20, which says that people who play paladin, you've really got a choice to make.
Yeah,
if you want that level 20
this game's going the whole way.
Oh yeah.
No, you gotta multi-class in that Hexblade Warlock, man.
Okay, maybe that is worth it. So you should consider that. Let me tell you why. And an entire episode where Ryan and Kenneth aren't even there.
Oh
so for this guy, you're playing the hero. You're all about trying to be super cool. You got an inspiring smite that does something and does other things. You smack them for 2d8. You do a bunch of other things. It's basically regular smite. Ryan talked about you get better physical abilities and whatnot. Yeah, defense. Cool.
One of my players plays one of these.
Do all of your people play stuff from Unearthed Arcana?
A lot of them do.
You're fancy. I wish I had a team that let me do that. I'm just kidding. And you're pretty flexible.
Dude, he always crits. Let me tell you. He always crits, and I hate it because he's a paladin, and it does like fucking 50 damage when he crits, and he crits all the time. One of
the very few classes I have played in a one-shot. It was Braxton's one-shot, and yeah.
That was so long ago.
Now, there was one enemy that had ridiculous amounts of hit points in one turn. Crit after crit just made, I'm rolling dice like crazy, and boom, it's dead.
Oh, yeah. And then, for example, like the Living Legend thing, I can't exaggerate the wording here is one of these abilities you get for a minute. Once on each of your turns, when you make a weapon attack and miss, you can cause that attack to hit instead. No ifs, ands, or buts. You are a badass. If you fail a saving throw, you can use your reaction to reroll it. That's a reroll there. It's not just, come back, go back in that spot. I hit you. You have been hit. This is what happens.
You're changing the legend.
Yeah. That's how I would word it. Literally, just come back.
I can't remember if this was in Theros or not, or if this is with any of the Paladin level 20 things. But I was reading it. It's once you use the level 20 ability, it's a long rest, or you can expend a 5th level spell slot to use it again. Is that new? I think that might be new from other.
I'll pretend I know the answer to that.
I don't know. I mean, it's definitely not. I mean, it's in the following subclass.
It is.
Both of the Watchers.
Braxton's
Which
gonna
we should
hate
get to
this
because-
subclass.
You listen. Why would I hate it?
Dude,
It's
it
all
sucks.
about against aberrance. Braxton.
Doesn't mean it's not cool.
It's not cool.
Shit. Okay. Well, tell
I
me
like the
why.
art.
Because
Yeah.
if you read what Tasha said there, dude, I agree with her 100%.
These paladins aren't at all up to what I expected. Worse, they send you home. Your party. They send home your party's best guess.
They send home your party's best guess, being
did
these
really bad.
apparitions that hang out around your party.
But see how fun would this would be. You probably.
I would never take this oath in my life.
What if one of our players dies and they want to play this guy? Huh?
They can do it, but I'm not taking it. It's gonna come in with a lot of strife with your character. I'll tell you what.
They probably wouldn't get along at all, to be quite frank. So
I don't
not
think
a
the
good
Oath of the Watchers is as powerful in combat as some of
Why?
the other paladins.
Is this?
But I think it's powerful in its own right.
What does that even mean?
What do you mean, man?
Explain. Tell me why.
It's
Why
not
does
as
it suck?
strong in combat, but it's strong out of combat. Dog.
God, it's
It's got stuff like, non-detection. That's pretty strong.
Yeah.
I mean, you can find some otherworldly beings. That's always nice.
Yeah. See, I would love that. Help me find some underworld beings. Come on.
I mean, it's got like RP stuff, like Vigilant Rebuke, That's not something you're going to be using in the middle of combat. I guess you could, but
But
why?
couldn't you argue that the paladin subclass is already strong enough on its own?
Nah, a
paladin
lot of them are
class.
good at
It is.
No, I think a lot of them are good in combat. It's all
Yeah.
about buffing and healing. I'm saying this one's not. But you do
Yeah.
get True Sight
Which is
to
pretty damn good.
120 feet.
That's a meme in our.
That's
players group.
insane, True Sight that far. I mean, I guess it's
you
level
also-
20. I guess it doesn't really matter at that point.
I mean, even more so, you now just have advantage on attack rolls against aberrations, celestials, elementals, phase, and fiends. You
That's what you're fighting at level
basically
20.
what you're fighting at that level.
Yeah, name one
So you-
human you're going to fight level 20. It's not happening.
Tiamat.
one inside of your soul.
That's a
So
spirit.
yeah, I guess it's not super exciting. You kind of ran through all the abilities. The last level 21 is whenever you hit a creature at attack roll and you damage, you do that damage to it. You can force it to make a charisma saving throw against your DC. If it fails,
Congrats,
it is now
you get scrying at level 17. Whoop de frickin' do.
the creature's banished.
I-
Let me finish that.
The creature is I do that's very good. If you just hit it and they fail to save, they're just done unless you're like
Mhm.
on that plane of existence. Which you
Yeah,
might
I
be,
mean,
you're level 20.
The most
but-
things you're fighting at level 20, I feel like will probably save against that.
But if they don't, final boss fight done.
That would suck.
Well, they're not
I guess
done.
it- I
They're
guess
just like pushed out of the way. We'll handle
if
you
you're
later.
doing a level 20 campaign, you're starting. Consider this one.
That actually would
Otherwise-
just postpone. That would move the end date of the campaign till you can
Yeah.
go find what plane this guy's from.
Think about this: have an NPC be one of these, and every 100 years, the true hero, this dude, this subclass paladin, needs to come up and team up with the party. They're destined to
So
banish the
NPC?
thing. It's basically like Zelda. You play Zelda. You get banish Ganon.
I know you guys are on the edge of your seat thinking about this answer. I know your listeners were
What answer?
as well. The 5th level spell slot thing, like getting
Oh my
the
god! It took him so much time.
I had to look it up.
He busted.
had
I
to
saw
look
him
it up.
bust his Theros book out.
Um,
Okay, go ahead.
it's in Theros. They didn't change that from Theros. It looks like it started with Theros though. All the Xanathars in Player's Handbook one, they're just long rests, no 5th level spell slot. Like
So they started it
Interesting.
now, recently.
they started it with Theros, yeah.
I like that they're giving us more tools
I like
to
it.
use. Cool beans.
Because
All
like
right,
you're not
let's
using
move
your
forward.
spells anyways as a paladin. You're using them to like smite, basically.
Ryan,
What's up, man?
take it away.
Yeah, I'll sit
Oh, we're
back
diving
on this one.
we're diving into the Ranger here, dude.
Take it away. I'll be back.
Fuck it, dude. I don't.
Yeah. Is
Fuck
that
it.
Done. Go.
I think with these optional features, I think they completely missed the mark, the hunter's
Oh.
mark. Literally.
And that's what Rangers are supposed to do. They're supposed to make the mark.
Honestly, I think Deft Explorer is okay.
Mhm. I do agree. I like Depth Explorer, yeah.
I think it's cool. It's all right. I think Favorite Foe has got to go. Man, I like, and this pains me to say this, okay? I actually like the Player's Handbook version of this more than I do here.
Is it just because of the concentration?
Oh my
Yes, I
God.
think the fact this concentration is garbage.
You didn't
I mean,
say
it
that.
is garbage, yes.
I think it's a
Hey,
load
at least you've
of
got a really,
malarkey.
really cool looking halfling ranger on the screen.
Dude, screw her, man.
She's got a goat, though, bro. Come on.
She has a
Get-
goat.
Okay,
Combat goat.
cool. Congratulations, she has a goat.
It's pretty cool.
And you can only do it up to your proficiency bonus.
I
That's the thing
think
that they're gonna add in?
I like the idea of the ranger, and it's going to come up with the next one as well, with getting rid of favored terrain as well in a way. I like the idea of the ranger being an expert in their field in certain scenarios. This is what they're the
Yes.
expert on. Of course, it has to be tailored to what you're playing. So if you grab something that's not being used, then you're kind of screwed. But I think the favorite foe here, by making it more of a combat thing, I wish it was just like a hunter's mark. It's that's basically what it is with concentration and everything.
Except
yeah.
it doesn't take a bonus action. You just do it.
Yeah.
Hey, let's go to the bright side here. Hey, you get some more healing spells. You get magic weapons, summon beast, enhance ability, aid, revivify, summon
Yeah,
friend, one of the new
learning
summon spells.
cantrips as a ranger is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's very strong.
cool. You get some new spells.
And Nature's
You know,
Veil,
awesome.
level 10,
Yeah.
I think it leaves a little bit desired because it is only for 6 seconds.
Yeah.
Seems like almost like a waste of an ability.
But
But-
it's way better than hide in plain
I was about to
sight.
say, but hide in plain sight also felt like a waste of an ability. So I
Garbage.
I don't know what we're taking here. I don't know what's
What is it? You sit still for 10 minutes and you're basically invisible?
Uh-huh.
Take
This
this
is
level
like-
of salt that they've got right now, and it's gonna be so bad
So-
for Warlock, man.
Okay, so with Nature's Veil, bonus action, love hearing it with Ranger, you can become invisible until the start of your next turn. At the start of the turn, boom, bonus action,
Yeah.
invisible, advantage on all your attacks, run away, hide somewhere. I think that's pretty good. And you can do it up to your proficiency bonus. I
But
like
I like
it.
the idea of the hide in plain sight, hanging out with your buddies and saying, okay, there's gonna be a group of guys coming this way in a little bit. I'm gonna hide us all.
Mhm.
That's kind of cute and fun. I guess you can still do that
It's
without
kinda
the ability.
cute.
But this seems like this is like a cool combat trick that I'm not gonna think is a fun, flavorful idea.
Yeah.
Now, my friend was saying that with the favorite foe, it says as if you're
Same.
concentrating on a spell. He was just like, oh, I would rule it so you can favored foe and hunter's mark.
Interesting.
All right.
That's
Well,
something
what's in this book?
we need to get Jeremy Crawford to tweet his ass and see what he has to
All right,
say.
well, we gotta get to these archetypes, guys. We gotta keep going.
Okay,
And if you
all right.
look, another tief. Oh wait, it's not a tiefling. It's a human fey wanderer.
Got him.
It just has horns and it's green.
Ryan, which
just
one is your
what-
favorite between these two?
Talk about it later.
He's just asking me a question.
Yeah, I'm just
Okay,
asking,
fine.
Braxton.
Okay.
I think my favorite is Swarmkeeper because I
Mhm.
like that kind of archetype, that kind of Golgari-esque.
It's also better.
It is better.
It's also
I think
better.
so. For let's combine them because make it quick to run through. I think Feywander is cute with the Feywild little gifts. Those are, it's kind of adorable, cute,
yeah, you don't
fun
play
little
tiefling.
things.
You get horns anyways.
Yeah, whatever, man. But this gets also deep into the summoning yet again. So make
Yes,
sure
it
you're ready
does.
for all the fun
Mhm.
summoning these guys can be doing. Swarmkeeper doesn't necessarily feel like a ranger class to me, and I think it's cool. But
It's not ranger,
this is
so
my
it's cool.
no, this is my biggest takeaway for this whole ranger section. Okay, then you guys can take it away and talk. I want Drake Warden in a printed edition now. I think it's the best ranger class I've seen. Okay,
Give it to him, Watsy, now.
Or-
he needs it.
I want a better Beastmaster, which is just the Drake Warden. So I'll just take that.
Take the. All I gotta say is they gutted the fake boy from Unearthed Arcana, the 7th level, the 15th level, changed a bunch of other stuff. So check that
Cool.
out if you're interested.
Swarmkeeper gang, your swarm being a bunch of chickens for life. Let's go. Also, you being a Beastmaster fan, how do you like the Beast of the Land, Beast of the Sea, Beast of the Sky?
I think it's a step in the right direction.
I think it's a lot better than having a random beast.
But I don't think it's. I think still they've revised Rangers more times than I can count now, and it's like only 5, but still I can
And
hardly
they
count that
haven't.
high.
They still haven't made it.
Still haven't
good.
hit the mark.
Yeah.
I think they just
Ironic.
need. I think Drake Warden is going to be the new Beastmaster class because it is the. Granted, you're stuck with a Drake, but I guess you could very easily say it's not a Drake. I don't know. It's the Beastmaster, like the Primal Companion feature they have there is better than the OG Beastmaster, but it's still not what I want.
My only thing with the Drake Warden is that the other subclass that came with it can control all the fucking elements like the Avatar, and is also
that's a different class.
They need
man.
to remove that. I'm
That's
sorry.
That's a different class.
Okay.
So you don't have a problem with the Drake Warden, you have a problem with the other class.
Yeah, I know. Okay, they need to make the Drake Warden do that also. Okay, goodbye. So the Storm Boy had so many words in Unearthed Arcana, so many words.
Really?
You do not comprehend about how many words there were. I could probably have counted, but they took out all the words and made it easier to read. Cool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's all. That's all.
I still stand by
the editor finally came out.
Farmer Joe Swarmkeeper with your chickens.
Yes. Shall we do Rogue?
Let's do the Rogue.
Rogue, what do they got?
All I wrote for the optional class features for this one was cool.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, fuck the DM, I guess. If you're an archer rogue, just I'm gonna go over here on this pillar, or behind this tree. Steady aim, shoot. I have advantage. I have sneak attack. It's dead. I believe I rolled about 40.
It's a better ranger than the ranger subclass.
How many times does a rogue in my game not have advantage? They have advantage like every attack they do. It drives me nuts.
You try to combat it sometimes. You're like, you sure? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, okay.
Okay.
I also get your wallet. Are you sure? Yeah. Okay. Advantage on taking your wallet.
I do like steady aim. I do like it. It's just another because let's see. It doesn't even have to be a range attack. It's just next attack.
Yeah.
Love
Pretty
it.
spicy.
Just stand there. Bonus action. I'm standing at attention. I'm going to stab you next turn.
I just like that.
We'll see.
How that's all they get. For the
rogues have a very solid kit.
Yeah, rogues are pretty badass already. I mean, remember how many times what our rogue in our game gets a new ability and you're like, you just get that? You now have a great skill check and everything you do from now on? Cool. All right.
Cool.
An argument that I saw, a lot of the rogue stuff is like, they get it. Like, they just get it. And the monk's like, we have to spend key points for that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, the Phantom. This thing has been changed so many times. This has been in 2 Unearthed Arcanas, has had different names each time. Was the revived immediately previous to this? I'm not kidding. Every single one of these abilities from the Unearthed Arcana has been changed. It used
From revived to now?
Yes. It used to be you were a thing that died and you continue to die and you have the abilities of all of your past lives and you can act upon them, use them. It was very interesting. And dying is a thing that you do.
I mean, the lore is still really cool on it.
Yeah.
Dolores, I like this one better. The Phantom now is you have the dead, they speak to you. You have access to their words, their whispers, their wails. And
you could argue you did die and you got resurrected.
Oh, look, another tiefling.
That art is fucking badass, though.
It is really cool. But there's so many tieflings in this book, man. I feel like tieflings get this book. So, I really, really like the subclass because you have like this new thing that you can use the Whales from the Grave ability where when you kill somebody or if you deal sneak attack damage, you can do a bunch of... I like this guy. I can't even form my thoughts
I'd love to have a player use this in one of my games. It'd be so much fun to DM.
It really, really would. Like, you get trinkets. I can't even... There's a lot of words here. Kenneth, did you take notes on this guy?
I just thought it was very cool. I like it a lot more. I like it a lot more than I did on the UA. I just like having the trinkets. You can, you're kind of like an artificer. You can skill or tool proficiency at the beginning of a long rest or whatever. You have tokens of the departed, which is very cool. You can like advantage on death saves and con saves. Very good. You just have the trinket on your person.
See, I just go straight to the bottom one where you get a little tidbit of information and answers a question that that's also from the spirit. Good. Oh,
yeah.
Oh, Yes.
Very cool. So, honestly, I would genuinely buy this one from D&D Beyond if it has it separate. If you like rogues, get this boy. Soul Knife, I also really remember liking it in Unearthed Arcana. It was basically like a little fuck you mental knife that you stab people with, and they made it stronger and cooler, and it's easier to use, and you can use to Kenneth. What do you mean? What do you mean?
They did not make it stronger.
No.
Just for the fact.
Through it.
Whenever you take the this is for your psionic blades, right? Like you're all about psionic, like you conjure ghost knives.
Yeah, mind stuff, sure.
Whenever you take the attack action, you can manifest a psychic blade on your free hand and make the attack with the blade. Didn't it used to be Braxton, that it's just whenever you make an attack?
That's the same thing, Kenneth.
It's not. When you make an attack action and make an attack are two different things. You don't get the knife if someone you don't like using an if someone runs out of your like field of like opportunity attack, that's not taking an attack action. You just make an attack on them. You make an opportunity attack. If like the fighter commands you to attack as a reaction, you're not taking the attack action.
Yeah, you used to do a bonus action to create a magical blade of shimmering psychic power from one or both your hands.
So
it's weaker.
Yeah, because it only works on your turn.
Things.
I know, yeah.
Side bolstered knack.
I think this is lackluster, man. I don't care.
Psychic whispers.
Soul knife, more like boar knife. Am I right?
I am there also with you. I like the Phantom more.
Phantom for sure.
The Phantom is cooler, but I still think this is an awesome class.
I just like the best thing about rogue, like the best feeling about being a rogue is being able to attack when it's not your turn, because you get sneak attack as well. It's not once a round, it's once a turn. They still have it, but you don't get to use your soul knife with it. You have to carry around like a dagger or a rapier to make opportunity attacks.
You can make it mind flare. Fine. Okay.
No, there's so much psionic crap. Where's my damn planar?
Why are you so save the spice?
You could also like
dude, now I'm spiced up.
And could also I guess you could homebrew, but oh no, you just have the knife out. You don't it doesn't disappear. But then that's like, okay, what are rules then, right?
Can we get to the best subclasses in this entire book real quick?
Sorcerer?
Yes.
No, this has one and one that I don't want to talk about.
Okay.
Which one is he talking about? Let's find out.
Oh, we know what he's talking about. Also, we'll get to it. Okay, so we start off optional class features. You get a buttload of spells.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of spells.
Goodness gracious.
A lot of them are from this book.
Yeah. Any of them that have asterisks, they're from this book. Booming Blade and Flint Blade, they brought it back in. It is no longer something that you just have to steal from the internet if you don't have the Sword Coast thing. There you go. Awesome. Metamagic options. Seeking spell, really cool. If you make an attack roll and you miss, you can spend 2 sorcery points, Dragonborn. But if you go lower, guess what's there? Yeah. So, sorcery points to reroll the d20. You must take the new roll. You can use Seeking spell even if you've already used a different metamagic option during the casting of the spell. So, cool. You don't even have to do fancy things. Transmute a spell, cast a spell, it deals with damage. You can change it.
Now, quick side note with the metamagic options is there's a certain feat, which we'll talk about later, that allows you to take metamagic options. So these other metamagic options combined with other classes can make for some interesting combos.
I think I remember hearing that. We talked about Coffee Warlock, how getting metamagic in would allow you to not subclass, but it doesn't work.
Not 100%, no.
I would not let any of my players play Coffee Lock.
It's so funny. All right, Sorceress versatility is really cool. You can replace things when you level up or when you get an ability class.
Running theme.
Magical guidance. You can tap your inner wellspring.
All right, let's get to the class.
Blah blah blah. Okay, Sorceress origins, which are the subclasses. Cool beans. You are the gifted one. You were given cool stuff. Hey, look, Tiefling.
Tentacles.
Also, I'll just let you know right now, I have no interest in sorcerers. I don't even
This
glazed
is one of the best classes in the history of everything, Kenneth.
Wow me.
Beast Barbarian.
Wow me. Beast Barbarian's great.
Beast Barbarian's cool. Okay. So when Warlocks used to be able to take a subclass and a specific patron and get telepathic speech, if you're this level 1, you now have telepathic speech. With a minimum of 1 mile. You link to somebody. You can speak with them. It's pretty cool. Pretty fun. Psionic Sorcery is also a cool thing. Whenever you cast a spell of first level or higher from Psionic spells, you can cast it by expending spell slots as normal or by spending a number of sorcery points equal to spell's level. Need spell slots? No. Just use your sorcery points. I think that's pretty cool. And they changed a few of these things here and there. Rain on my Thunder Parade, man. I understand you today. They changed a lot of these things too. Zooming through.
Dude, where's the hype? This is the best class ever.
This is hype. Revelations in Flesh. Level 14th Aberrant Mind feature. You can see any invisible creature within 6 feet of you. Okay, that's fine, cool. Your eyes can become black or writhe with sensory tentacles. How is that not the coolest thing ever? You have tentacle eyes.
This is such a cool class. I want to make a character of this. I want to have a character be this character in my game. I can't even speak. I'm so hyped.
This is like reminds me of like the in Bloodborne, if you like get all the truth and you start seeing everything, right? Like this is like
this
reminds me of that.
Yeah.
You gain a flying speed with your walking speed as you hover, and you can fly. Your skin glistens with music or mucus, or it shines with otherworldly light.
You're seeing stuff everywhere.
Swimming speed equal to twice your walking speed. You can breathe underwater. You grow gills if you want.
Tentacles.
Little tentacles if you want. Your feet are webbed. Writhing cilia that extend through your clothing. That's disgusting.
Oh, say that again.
Your body, along with
say it again.
Cilia. Writhing. Your body, along with any equipment you're wearing, become slimy and pliable. You can move through any space as narrow as 1 inch without squeezing. You spend 5 feet of movement to escape from non-magical restraints or being grappled. Warping Implosion.
You can turn to a frog.
You unleash your aberrant. Actually, you know what? This is a frog, basically. But this is a giant 120 feet fart ability that does 3d10 force damage from where you move. Singularity pulls things into that space.
Dude.
And you teleport.
That would be cool to see.
I'm down with it.
You know what? I'm going to say it again. This is basically a warlock. This is what I want warlocks to be.
This is better.
Is better than a warlock.
This is what I want warlocks to be.
Not all warlocks worship the elder far realm gods. Okay,
This is
what I want. This is what would happen if warlocks didn't have invocations. They would actually make the class good, because invocations are basically Lego pieces that you pop into your subclass, so they make all the subclasses lackluster. Because
but the amount of customization you can do
is good.
They suck. Okay,
dude, you're getting a little ahead of yourself.
This is This is a tiefling.
I'm excited to hear Ryan's take on.
Okay, Clockwork Magic, Clockwork Soul.
On the Clockwork Soul. Oh, he died.
For reference,
those of you at home.
So the Dungeon Crawl is now me and Kenneth. Ryan doesn't exist anymore because of this subclass.
So Braxton, give me your take on the Clockwork Soul.
I didn't think.
all I wrote on this class is snooze, dude. I don't know what it is, but clockwork stuff just turns me to sleep.
You like chaos, man. I get it. I understand.
Did you get the Deep Magic book, Ryan, from Cobalt Press?
Yeah.
It reminds me of that. I'm not interested in. There's like clockwork spells in there too. I'm just not interested.
Even in the Tome of Beasts and stuff, there are clockwork of creatures.
Like, I like steampunk and I like it like actually be like artificer stuff. I like that. But for magic, I don't.
Yeah.
That's just me though. And this is all about like the plane of Mechanus, right? Like everything's order, and I like that. I think it's cool. That's about it.
Okay, so I've just read the subclass again.
Mm-hmm.
Can we go to the next one?
What the clockwork?
It is actually very boring.
I told you, man. It's boring because it's order and like it's.
Well, raise your hand here, guys. Who likes Modrons?
I think they're cute. They're cute. Don't at me. They're cute.
So the Bastion of Law is basically a shield, right? Magical ward around you. Kind of boring. The first levels restore balance. You can equalize a advantage roll or disadvantage roll. Interesting. Trance of Order, you gain the ability
the picture looks cool, I guess.
It's not a tiefling, I don't care.
Well, okay, what? It just shows them, like, oozing, like, what, purple mist
I don't know how that connects to a clockwork.
The best ability is the first one. Like, you can use your reaction to prevent the roll from being affected with advantage or disadvantage.
You don't want to...
That's
Do-
good.
You don't want to do a wimpy 100-point heal divided up amongst your friends at 18th level when your cleric can probably already do that. You don't want
Okay,
to
That's pretty strong.
That is
you don't
good.
want to you don't want to heal any damaged object entirely within a cube that are not then repaired instantly. You don't want to every
Houses.
spell 6 levels
pretty
lower
cool.
ends on creatures.
But I don't want to
objects,
wait till 18th level for that.
The 18th level stuff is really good.
Warlock? Sorry.
The 18th level stuff is really good, but getting there is the thing. It just feels boring, man.
I'm sorry if you like clockwork stuff out there. Maybe this is your jam, but it's not mine.
I'm
Or
really
ours,
nervous
apparently.
right now. Can we? I don't
I
want to
just
get
turned
to
the page. I just turned the page.
No.
Ryan,
We only have
stop,
two
don't.
classes left, man.
Okay. All right. Hold on. Let me take a.
You going, Braxton? This is your baby.
yeah, come on.
Hold on.
Lead us through.
So-
Hold our hands, Braxton.
Start with the
Anybody-
optional features.
For anybody who hasn't listened to the Dungeon Crawl, watched me on stream or anything, you don't know anything about this. I have only played Warlocks. I've been playing D&D for like 4 or 5 years. I have only played Warlocks. I've made 2 or 3 characters and played some other. I've only played Warlocks.
It's not that many characters, though.
It's not that many characters, but it's been for 4 years, and I've never once wanted to swap. Ever.
Until you saw the Aberrant Mind.
There you go, boys.
Maybe. We'll see about that. You get some spells, cool, some teleportation stuff, teleportation. I can't even speak. I'm so nervous right now for this thing, man.
Dude, there's a lot of cool new spells you
Why are
get
you
in there.
nervous?
Spells are cool. This is my child. A lot of
Yeah,
cool
spells are cool.
The
if you
summon
can
stuff is
cast
cool.
them.
Summon aberration or whatever it is. Aberration. Put that on every warlock you have. Every single one. I love
Which
them
one?
so much. Summon aberration.
Oh,
No.
Summon a cool thing that is
we'll
like
work with every warlock.
Hey,
what if
it's
you're
a
not?
fourth-
What if you're worshiping the Raven Queen? Then you gotta get Shadow Spawn.
It's a 4th level spell, Braxton. That's like what? Level 15 for Warlocks?
Yeah,
No.
good luck casting that bad
I have
boy.
it now. It's level 10. Actually, it's like level. I don't even know what it is. Look at the spell table. We're not talking about spell
Yeah,
table.
you can
right
cast
now.
up to 5th, I think, right now.
So the feature, first level, you get more spells. We already talked about that. There's like nothing else. Pack boon
Yeah,
option.
Wait, Braxton, hang on.
This
Hey,
is
like-
Hey, take a deep breath for me. He's about to have a panic attack over here. Oh my God.
listen. Okay, pack boon option. This is another thing you get. Pact of the Talisman.
Yeah, what do you think of the talisman, man?
You get an amulet. It can help somebody when their need is great, but it doesn't help you if it's not on you. It only helps them.
Yeah.
What is the point in this thing?
I like
They
it.
can add
Yeah,
a
that's
they can add a
cool.
D4 to their roll, possibly turning it into a success.
Yeah,
And
but
it
you
can
got to
be used
connect
with
it
proficiency.
with the invocations and stuff
I-
later.
I do like the Pact of the Talisman because it's not like the selfish kind of warlock, right? Like you
That's
get
what they're
power to
about.
help.
They're not, man.
They don't have to be. They don't
It's
have
the-
to be.
The ones you play are.
Like I could see like a guy down on his luck, desperate to help like his family or someone, take a pact, take the talisman, give it to like his daughter or like his wife or something, right?
But it's not helping him in combat. The player is not having
Well,
fun. It's not
If
them.
we look
doing
at these
it.
invocations, a lot of the invocations they added here are more support based.
True.
They added a lot more support. I think that's what the talisman's supposed to be, more of a support kind of warlock.
It is. Before we
Which
get there,
we've talked about before, though.
yes.
They're kind of almost like blending the lines a lot of, taking away the class identities and kind of making everyone can do everything, which is can be a good thing, but also can be very bad.
Yeah. Everything.
It
is
depends on
just
how
flavor
they
at
go
that
about
point.
it. Yeah.
I had some gas in me. I'm getting.
Okay, so before we get to the invocations, apparently there's something
Eldritch
else you don't like.
versatility is really important. That I like it, and I think it works because we've done this in our game. This is an official ruling for changing your your thing that you've picked. The talisman. If you don't like the talisman,
Oh,
you can
okay.
now So replace an option you choose from the Pack Boon feature with one of that feature's other options. Really cool. Say you're working as a Great Old Ones Warlock for no random example. I swear. You get a tome. You don't like the tome. Tome's dumb. You don't like the new stuff they get. You're gonna swap the talisman. You can do that, which is pretty cool.
Only
Whenever
when you get
ability score improvement.
ability score, important.
You can replace a cantrip you've learned from this class's pack magic
Ooh.
feature with another cantrip from the Warlock spell. Cool. If you're 12th level or higher, you can replace one spell from Mystic Arcanum
I
feature
don't know why you're.
with
I don't know
another
why
Warlock
you're
spell.
not using just Eldritch Blast though for your cantrips.
Got him.
That's very true. I mean, at a certain point as a Warlock, you basically already have all the cantrips you want, so it's kind of a moot point, but hey, nice to have. The ability to change your Mystic Arcanum spell is really cool if you're 12th level or higher. So that's awesome. An ability score improvement. You can do that once or twice more. Awesome. And if any of these changes make you ineligible for an invocation, you can also replace them at that point. So they took care of that too.
You're pretty
So
positive, man.
Yeah, these are great. I love this. Class stuff's good.
I wish it was every level instead of ability score improvement.
Yeah,
because that's like
I'd change
limited.
it. I'd change it
yeah.
to every level for sure.
I'll take anything.
Because like 4 levels, like if you change your pact and you feel like you don't like it, you're like, oh, I thought I would like this, but you don't.
Or changes in story or whatever.
It's
Well,
like
you want to
4
know
levels.
something really funny about the feature from Unearthed Arcana for the Warlock?
Go ahead.
It used
What's
to
up,
be
man?
every time that gets me. You used to be able to change in the Unearthed Arcana your spell upon a level up. One spell.
That's pretty funny. Yeah, they changed.
You used to be
that,
able to.
They changed that
took it
for
away.
they gave that to a few, not specifically that, but they gave the cantrip versatility to a lot of other classes.
So I think they decided they didn't want to do that because that's something that sorcerers could do.
I think we all talked about when that Unearthed Arcana came out. We're all chatting about how cool this is, how it would be really nice for
didn't do
class
it.
to be able to do this. They gutted it. They took it out entirely.
I think the only class that it didn't change for like you change your cantrip every level. I think the only class that has that for is wizard now.
Yes, correct.
Yes.
Literally every other class is ability score.
Did they need to make the wizard stronger? No.
Yeah, of course. It's WotC. It's not it's not fighters of the coast.
That's a good point. They're a little
Warlocks of the
biased. I never
coast.
thought about
Yeah.
that.
They're a little biased. Let's continue with the Warlocks. Wizards are next.
The invocation.
Bond
Yeah.
of the Talisman. Invocations are really important. The Warlocks are cool because you can plug and play certain things.
I thought
This
they were
allows
cool
you-
because of that. You just explained how they're like Lego pieces.
They're cool, but they're just... This is the only cool thing about Warlocks. The subclasses are poopy.
They had some cool features, man.
Sometimes. So, Bond of the Talisman allows you to teleport to the person that's wearing it, as long as they're on the same plane of existence. So if you're playing with the Plague Doctor dude, the Equality Monk that we were talking about over here, and you want to get his healing burst, pop to him. That'd be a pretty cool
Seems like a
thing.
waste of that teleport, though. They're like 5 feet away.
Oh, yeah. So this is anywhere. There's no limit to the distance.
You give this to somebody, and then you can teleport miles back to
Yeah.
them, but you're now way away from the party.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And you
I
can't
don't
get
understand
back. I don't either. So this is why I'm saying the Talisman's very
No,
weird.
it's just this one invocation. I'm sure someone can find a good use for it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, let's find another Talisman one before we keep going. Level 7 Warlock Talisman. If the wearer of the Talisman fails a saving throw, they can add a D4. Couldn't they already basically do that? More D4 stuff. Potentially turning it into a
They
save.
might not be able to do this. What do you mean?
I mean, the first one was an ability check. They're
Yeah,
just,
but now you can do it
it's
for saving throws.
really
Saving
cool.
throws are really bad if you fail them, though. Like a lot of
That is
saving
very
throws are
true.
like fail and you like are stunned, or you get teleported, or you get yeeted.
Yeah, and at 7th level, that's like 2 or 3 uses of this. So it's,
Yeah.
Granted, it's a
the
D4.
thing is just like,
I really like Gift of the Protectors. I think that's cute. People are
Gift of the
writing into your
Protectors.
book, into your tome.
Yeah. They
yeah.
made the tome cool. Why wasn't this in the original one? I don't understand. You get a book and it couldn't do anything before.
You
You
could
got
write in it.
cantrips.
Yeah, man. How many cantrips you want to write in there? I mean, as many you want.
You could basically have all the cantrips at that time.
You can put
This-
ritual spells in there too.
You can make a death note out of this.
I think so.
There's some really cool stuff in here, man. If you're playing a Tome Warlock, you have to get this. You absolutely have to buy this. This allows you to save somebody's life who's reduced to 0 hit points. There's another
Yeah,
one.
That's huge.
Mhm.
Far Scribe. You can use the sending spell to people who you write the name of the book. Of course, there's a limited number, but why?
I love
just
that.
don't understand why this wasn't in the original thing. The book did almost nothing before. Okay. There's a bunch of other cool things
I
here.
think they were
investment in the Jedi Master,
treating
blah,
it
blah,
before too much like a wizard spell book
Yeah.
That's
and
true.
less like a wizard tool
Yeah.
or warlock tool. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
I just thought about Gift of the Protectors. It's very cool RP wise.
It
Like
is.
if you know like one of your friends are going to die, like your NPC, like the king or something, write his name in the
Mhm.
book, and you're like, oh, he just dropped to 0, and
Yeah,
like
it's gonna be
it-
assassinated or something. Yeah.
yeah,
Ryan, I would still be a Tome Warlock if these existed, and it would work so damn well.
Next ability score. Turn it back.
there you go, boy. Let's go.
I'd
Let's
be
go.
my build would be so all sorts of wrong. It just wouldn't make any sense. There's a new Pact of the Chain feature. There's some talisman stuff. Undying Servitude, Animate Dead without casting a spell.
Never been a big
The
fan
Pact of the Chain
Chain
one is actually good.
Yeah,
Like,
I
it's
like that
really
Chain has
good.
always been pretty good. Well, Chain was kind of an awkward thing. Some people liked it, some people didn't. This does the effect to your familiar of what they've altered to summoning and familiars in general.
Yes.
It
Dude,
makes
have
it smoother to use.
Have a
is
pixie
great.
familiar? Its saves become your saves? Like,
Kenneth, no matter how excited you are right now, cannot make
See,
me
it's kind of funny. Whenever I think of Warlock, Pixie is the last thing in my mind.
Yeah.
Fey Warlock, man.
I mean, you can, yeah, you 100% can, but I'm always thinking
Quasit.
tentacles, yeah, crazy, spooky stuff.
Fey.
Okay.
But
This entire time that
speaking
we've
of
been,
tentacles,
I know. The entire time we've been wanting to cover this, Brian has been like, Braxton, I have some
To be honest,
things
I've
to tell
forgotten
you.
a lot of my rage, so let's see if I can roll it back here.
All right. So we are getting a fathomless, deep, unknown sea creature themed
Yeah,
warlock.
cool, man.
And
Love the lore.
if you're looking, you could have a surfer dude that's just like loving the
Yeah,
sea.
I don't know what
Shut up.
he's up to over there.
He's going, I got a tentacle.
That is not how I imagine the tentacle looking.
dude, that's Keanu.
not.
That's Johnny Silverhands, bro.
Oh, also, go up. Tiefling. I'll be critical roll. Another tiefling
That's not.
for the... Isn't
Wait,
that
what are you
critical
talking
roll?
Mm-mm.
Where?
That, the tiefling that's above for next to the talisman thing?
That's not Molly
That's somebody...
Mott.
Who is that?
No, I can
That's
see
a-
it. I can see what you're trying to. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's similar, but
It
not.
could like be a reference, but it is not Molly Mock.
All
no,
right,
he
well,
wasn't a warlock.
Another tiefling. There's so many in this book. Okay, let's continue. This is your tentacle guy. If
Uh-huh.
you wanted to be the old gods and try to mash as much of that into it, this is it.
It's about time they had. I mean, they had the patron. They just didn't have a class that fit it. Really?
They changed this so much from Unearthed
Yes,
Arcana.
they did.
Now it was overpowered
It
in
was
Unearthed Arcana.
super strong.
It was.
It was way too strong. Like, I wouldn't put this in my game. You
It was
could teleport
good.
like 100 miles or some shit. You could
Well-
jump on people.
I'm gonna be honest.
It
I'd
was-
rather have that than what they put in for the teleport.
Yeah, we'll talk about this. So to begin, you get some new spells, create, destroy, water, blah, blah, blah. Cool. You at level 1 can, yeah, you, Ryan, if you want to play this class, you can magically summon a spectral tentacle that strikes at your foes
That's cool.
for a bonus action. So if you do your Eldritch Blast, you can also get a tentacle that
Which
hits
you should
people.
be doing because Eldritch Blast is like the best thing warlocks can do.
Yeah, and you get it at level 1. Cool. So as a bonus action, you get this. It lasts for a minute. Or if you create another tentacle. So you can keep the tentacle up as long as you keep refreshing it with a bonus action. Cool. It does 1d8 cold damage. That's cool. That's 1d10 and a 1d8 at first level. Pretty strong, to be quite frank. And it increases at
Yes.
level 10 to
Yes.
2d8. That takes a long time to increase. But hey, cool.
Well, it's just nice to have it not be spell based
It is
because
very
you're
true.
not getting. You can keep your spell slots for other stuff. It's also not concentration, which is very important because
Yes.
most
not.
of
I
what
didn't even
warlocks
see
do
that.
is concentration.
Yeah, because if you're going to use that spell slot, you're going to want to get as much out of it as you can. You can move it also as a bonus action up to 30 feet, and it can go around and whatnot. You can summon the tentacle a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus. Comes back on a long rest.
And you can swim 40 feet.
So you get 12 minutes of this guy. Pretty cool. Yeah, you can swim 40 feet and breathe underwater at level 1. That was given to you way later down the line in the guy from Unearthed
It
Arcana.
was. Yeah, I remember you thinking, what the hell is this doing here?
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
okay. Oceanic Soul, you're now more home at the depths. You gain resistance to cold damage, and when you're fully submerged, you can speak to anything else that's fully submerged, which can understand your speech, and you can understand theirs.
Very
This,
I like it.
before, it was so much cooler. You could speak telepathically with any
I know,
aberration,
but
beast,
this
elemental,
is
monstrous.
underwater stuff, man.
But this is so dumb.
No,
When
it's
are you
not.
going to...
Oh, I'm in a nautical part in my
Yeah,
campaign
man.
right now. Like they would.
Okay,
love to
what
have
happens when
this.
you're out of that?
Well,
Don't play this class unless you're in a world where you're going to be around water a lot of the time.
yeah, this is great for like a salt marsh campaign, something like that. I would.
This is
pick it in a
not your
heartbeat.
favorite subclass
Because,
that you pick for every campaign.
Like a lot of the like Triton, they like talk to fish, but they don't like the fish can't talk back. The fish can understand them. You can't understand the fish.
Yeah, you can talk.
This
to
is like
fishies.
you can actually have like a rapport, right? I like it. I mean, yeah,
And
it's
you
not.
also get the other 6th level thing, Guardian Coil. You know?
Yes.
now to say there is no distance or sight limitation on this ocean speaking thing.
Yeah.
If they're in the water, you can talk to them.
Yeah. It's like you're yelling at. I mean, you got to be able to hear them, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. So, Guardian Cool, yes, tentacle elite can now defend and protect. It can go between yourself and another creature that it sees take damage within 10 feet of the tentacle.
Interposing hand, very good.
Interposing hand, yes. So
Bigby's
you
hand.
can use, which is really cool. And then it reduces damage by 1d8 when you reach 10th 2d8. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Grasping Tentacles. You now learn Everett's Blast Tentacles. It counts a Warlock spell for you.
Hey.
Awesome. A really great spell.
I'm surprised that was
so
never
good.
a Warlock spell before.
It's not even, you could get it. This gives it to you.
I like it.
It doesn't count against your spells. You can also cast it once without a spell slot, and you gain the ability to do so when you finish long rest. If you cast it, your patron's magic bolsters you. You gain a number of temporary hit points. It's just
More
like
tentacles.
yeah,
But
it's
the
more
big
tentacles,
thing
but
is,
these things don't work together.
but
Go ahead.
the big thing is, yeah, you get temp HP, but damage can't break your concentration on that spell.
And no
That's
spell
very
slot.
good.
Do you know what
No
Everett's
spell
Blast
slot.
Tentacles does? Do you know what it does?
It's
Yeah, I
a
know what it
AoE
does.
around yourself, right?
It's good, man.
No, you don't put it on yourself. That'll hurt you.
Dude, you've had Edwards brought against you and it kicked your ass.
No, it didn't. We just got
Yes, it did. It kicked your ass.
It sucks against NPCs and other things. It's an underwhelming spell to me, to be quite frank.
No, it's a
10th level.
20-foot square, okay? 20 feet square. That's pretty big. That's like, what, 40 square footage?
I don't know.
See, math, man.
I can't do math.
And then it does, okay, so it does 3d6 bludgeoning damage and can restrain the people inside of it.
That's so good.
That's good. And it does that every turn.
Basically, you use this and you trap people, and then you bring your tentacle buds and you start whacking at them.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Just,
because they
That
have
sounds
and
awesome.
hentai, and it's weird
Dude,
and
that
everybody's uncomfortable.
sounds sick.
It's not.
It's not strong.
That's so strong.
What?
It's not strong.
A group
can't get
AoE, a group AoE that has 3d6 and restrains, Braxton. That's
And you
really
can't be,
strong.
your concentration can't be broken. And it's not a spell slot.
And you get temp HP.
They can pass it.
Temp HP.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
can
they can
pass it.
pass
They can
it.
pass any spell you do, though.
They can
I don't
pass
know.
it.
There's some spells that just
No,
work. I just
They can
don't like
pass it, right? But it's on each turn.
Yeah.
So like,
Each
it's not
turn,
they,
man.
it's not that if they like pass it, it's done for. Like they have to
They have to
pass
get
it every
outside
turn.
the 20-foot square, too. So that can, set up for some smart movements.
I don't know, man.
And that- no, like,
My problem right now is the warlock. Their spells and abilities already so much are you use them, it's gone.
No, but the whole point of it is, from what I understand with the warlock, okay, you toss down your concentration spell, right? You got to pick the concentration. Toss it down, hold them down in an area, AoE, whatever. Concentrate on that spell. Then you either whip out your Hexblade going in frontwards, or you whip out your Eldritch Blast. You're doing other stuff while you're keeping up your
Can't be a
concentration.
Hexblade with this.
Why not?
This is
well,
the
not
Hexblade.
this specific thing is what I'm saying. I'm saying
this is what you
warlocks,
do.
period. Warlocks, period.
So,
Yeah, this is what you do.
but here's the thing:
This
you
is your
hit
That's
Hexblade.
good.
you
That's
hit
strong.
you hit something with your tentacle, and they slow down by 10 feet. If you hit them while they're in the square, like they're not going anywhere.
I'm just
And I
saying.
think also,
there's
I
a
think the
point-
way
Go ahead.
I think the way you want to play a warlock is just the aberrant mind. I don't think the warlocks you want to play is what WotC sees the warlock as.
Take
Mm-hmm.
the flavor out. Take aberrations out. Whatever. Just looking at mechanics. There's a point at which almost all of your features for this class are gone and used, and it could be quite frequent.
Well, that's like every class, though, man.
No, a lot of other classes have things that they can just keep doing for the most
You can
part.
keep doing your tentacle.
No, that's twice, or
Yeah,
it's-
perception or your proficiency bonus.
See?
I just think this is underwhelming.
I think
like
this
it.
is very
Especially-
strong. I love this guy.
It is not strong by any. If you're not playing one of the other warlock subclasses, this one's not going to be as good unless.
well,
you're
don't
okay, you're
know.
used to playing
Not a cool
Hexblade, right? It's just that Hexblade
I'm not just
is
talking about
overpowered.
Hexblade.
I know
I'm
you're
not
not
talking
talking
about
about. I
just
know
Hexblade.
you're
We're
not
talking
just talking about Hexblade.
This is a bigger conversation just about this subclass. This is about warlocks now.
It's about warlocks.
Yeah.
It's about warlocks. Fathomless plunge. Almost all warlock 14th level things are kind of underwhelming.
This one's ass.
This one is ass. You can, if you know a pond that's a mile away from you or larger, you can teleport to it and bring people with you. I think.
I think
If I
in
were-
90%
if
of
I-
instances, this is pointless.
you cannot use this if there's no water. If like again, you really
Or
have
you
to be in
don't
a
know
world
about
that has
it.
a lot of water. Or you don't know
Is
about it.
is there a spell that lets you create like a body of water like this?
Yeah. You could do create. You just create a puddle.
Doesn't create water go away eventually though?
No, like you create I'm just asking if there's a spell where you can create like a pond or something. Like
I don't think so.
If you're like, okay, we're going into this place, let me create this like body of water that we can teleport back to in case like
Not without
shit hits
using
the
a bunch
fan.
of resources, spells, and whatnot. So you'd have to do it out of combat. But the thing
Yeah,
with this
no,
is like,
I get that.
if you don't have that spell ability, whatever we're theorizing right now.
Well,
your
I mean,
DM
create
either-
water, it doesn't disappear.
Okay, good. So for this specifically,
10 gallons?
if your
is a lot.
DM isn't, when you're on your expedition, saying there's a puddle here, there's a puddle there, or you're not asking them every 2 seconds about it, which is pretty annoying to me. In both cases, for the DM having to talk about puddles all the time, and you having to mention that, is there a puddle here? Because I got this 14th level feature and I want to use it. It's just the previous one was way too strong.
Salt marsh, very strong.
Pond size are larger. You could just like, hey, I want to do this like Banff out of here. Is there anything within a mile that a lake or a pond or something?
And then we got to get into logistics of what makes a pond. How big is a pond, right?
Let's not do that. Okay, so
I think
this
it's
is
neat.
underwhelming to me. I understand why you guys think it's great. I just think compared to every other subclass that exists, this is like a wet tentacle noodle hitting people.
Dude, I love wet tentacle noodles.
It gets lightning bolt. That's good.
That's very good.
Eldritch Blast.
Well, yeah, but it's a cantrip.
It's-
This,
bolt?
you can cast the lightning bolt while you're concentrating on stuff.
Sure.
It's pretty good.
Sure. The genie. So
I
if we
don't care
talk
about
about
this
the
So upset.
yeah, exactly. If we talk about the dragon that came out, that you can the what was it? What class was that?
Monk.
Was it a fighter? Monk?
I
It's
don't
a
know.
monk.
The one we just talked
it
about
was
the
a-
other day?
It was a monk, and they can do any elemental thing that they want. But for
Yeah.
this warlock subclass, you gotta pick an element, and that's what you're
Hey.
stuck with.
To be fair, this came out first.
Still.
It
Yeah,
did.
exactly. So why were they like, well, this one could just, I don't know, I'm too salty. If you have high cholesterol, I'm sorry, I'm making it worse right now. Genie, you can pick a genie, you pick a Jiao, a Genie, a Freet, a Marid. They're elemental types. You get spells equal to those things. The expanded spell list is really cool, to be quite frank. They add a bunch of really awesome things that you didn't have access to before. Awesome. Love it.
I mean, I really like the idea
oh,
of
yeah.
the genie and
Mhm.
the vessel that you got, but it doesn't seem like a warlock,
Yeah.
right?
No.
You're not really getting into a pack. I mean, I guess you kind
Yeah,
of
you're
are.
getting
but
into a pack with the
sh-
genie.
Yeah, you're using its abode, you're using its thing, and you yourself kind of are becoming a genie bound to a vessel
Well,
itself.
That's the thing with warlocks. Not warlocks, but like there's a point where like you out level your patron. Like if they're a genie. Because these
It's
are
true.
monsters in the
That's a good
monster
point.
manual.
You'd have to make it stronger, I guess.
Well, to be quite frank, at 14th level and 10th level, you kind of become a genie on your own. So it kind of works. But just diving into this really quick, you get this lamp that can take the shape of whatever your patron gift was at that point. So that's how they address that. It's like, why do I have a lamp and a book? Am I just like a weird guy with lots of trinkets here? What's going on?
Book.
You get bottled respite. So as an action, you can go into your vessel, and this I think is pretty cool itself. You've got your own remote room. Whenever you're taking a rest, you pop into this guy. It's a cozy thing with all the low ceiling and like little plush couches everywhere. that sort of
Posters on the
thing.
walls.
Posters on the wall, whatever you want, that sort of thing.
Ooh, I want
So-
bead curtains. That's what I want.
Ooh.
When you're if you've seen JoJo, this is basically the turtle. if you know about it, it's basically
Yeah,
the turtle.
it is.
That is
It
exactly
is.
how
Yep.
I would play this.
Yep. Yeah.
So, turtle house. I'm sorry.
Turtle
so while
house.
inside, you can hear and see around. Not really hear, but you can hear around this vessel. You can remain inside a number up to your proficiency bonus. So twice that, and I think you always at least have +2 in your proficiency bonus. So you can always get a quick short rest in this. Completely safe. You know what's really awesome? You pop in, you tell your friends, I'm taking a short rest. I'm getting my spell slots back. Hold on to my bottle while I'm inside it.
That's true. It's like a little catnap.
It's a little catnap. So that's the only thing I like about this.
I could see like you guys are getting captured, like the group's getting captured or something like that, like hand over your possessions. You
Oh, yeah.
bamf into the bottle, your friends are like captured in a jail cell. You bamf out of the bottle and you're like, "Hey, what's up? I'm here to free
Well, you can bring him in at 10th level.
Yeah. 10th level, you're able to bring your friends
Then you
in.
got a
and give them
little
rest.
Lemon's tiny hut.
At
You gotta be
10th
careful
level,
though, because
Or
at 10th
giant
level,
mansion.
are you
Oh,
getting captured and being put in jail?
You could.
You
What
could,
plane
yeah.
of existence
Yeah.
are you going to?
Yeah. So for bottled respite, it's definitely interesting, but you got to be careful because this thing can be sold. But you think about it: covert operation, sell the genie lamp to somebody, and your warlock pops out and kills them all if they're strong enough. Cool, like that. Genie's Wrath. Whenever you get hit with an attack roll, you can kind of rebuke and hurt them with damage equal to your proficiency, not your proficiency one, but the damage type that your friend has. Elemental gift. You take on characteristics. You now have resistance to that damage type. Okay, and you can give yourself a flying speed, lasts for 10 minutes. Okay. I think for your visual, more people can jump in. Cool. It also makes it to where your rests are more effective, I believe, is the 10th level one as well, right?
Yeah, with hit die.
Yeah, so this is a more effective short rest and rest of any sort for your friends that jump in. Cool, more of a support class. Limited Wish. You can cast any spell that's 6th level or lower without the requirements of it, without the class-specific needs for one action. So any spell you want.
You can only use it once per 1d4 long rest.
Once per 1d4 long rest. So, like I said, a lot of Warlock subclasses I'm seeing is it's like, this is the skeleton of the class itself. They're not amazing abilities. They're for flavor. Eldritchifications, I'm wanting to see WotC do more adventurous things, like what they did with the Tome.
It's tough because you have almost like 2 subclasses that you get to choose.
Mm-hmm.
The Pact as well as the subclass itself. Yeah. And then they have to build in the invocations to the one subclass, and then you get to get the features from the other subclass. And I think the way they built it is mechanically tough for them to make things that aren't broken.
Yeah. Because
they can very easily have an invocation they think is cool for this one, but then you combine it with this fathomless thing, and then you can go crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think they've written themselves into a corner.
I agree.
Yeah, because
invocations are cool, but
I honestly
these
don't know
classes are okay.
I honestly don't know what warlocks get like base stat like warlock class. Like I don't know. Is there one, or is it just like you have to pick?
No, they've got regular stuff. Okay. They get
Mystic Arcanum
slots and stuff. Mystic Arcanum, which is really powerful. Like what I think, but these subclasses, like compared to, think about the sorcery we read about before. Like that's more warlock than any warlock could wish to be. They take on more even without it being aberration. They take on more of a form of their ideology than a warlock really does with their subclasses. And a warlock's just a pack, so yeah, maybe they are.
I think the warlock ideology is split, but depending on what your pact is. Yeah, every subclass is very different, identically speaking, which is cool, but it makes it tough to make it work.
Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, I didn't get to the wizards because I was so upset at the warlocks.
Oh, wizards!
This art
badass
is the best art in the entire book.
Which one?
The Drow and
one
High
of the
Elf?
two, the Drow and High Elf with the two like dancers' blades.
Yes, yeah. Ooh, I got.
Tell me about these guys.
Blade Singers. Have you played Blade Singer, Ryan? Or have you had any interest in playing them, or even look? Or Brett, you told us to go ahead.
Yeah,
you told us to go ahead.
Go ahead.
Have I? I think they're cool. I think it adds a lot of cool utility to a wizard toolbox to then be more melee focused, because usually wizards are the background dudes.
That's the thing, though. As I breathe really heavily into my mic.
Love it.
You with Blade Song, you're still a wizard. You still have a D6 hit point.
Yeah, very low.
You still don't want to be up in battle. It just makes them more survivable if people do get to you, like through the front line, which I really like.
Get armor proficiency though.
Yeah,
true.
This used to be elves only, which I think most people just ignored anyways.
Yeah.
And with the spell cantrip formulas that you get new with Tasha's, like you can basically change your cantrips that you know.
That's big.
When you finish a long rest, you can just change one cantrip. So
makes sense. I mean, you have the tome in front of you, the book that you got.
Yeah. Because the spells, the infamous ones, Booming Blade and Green Flame Blade, that came out with this class in Sword Coast Adventures Guide. And it was good, to say the least. It was very good. Blade singing is just good. They did change it from Sword Coast Adventures Guide. They changed it from a number of times equal to your intelligence modifier to your proficiency bonus. But yeah, you get an AC bonus to your intelligence mod, walking speed increased by 10 feet, advantage on dex saves, or acrobatics checks rather. Bonus to con saving throws equal to your intelligence modifier. You get extra attack. You get song defense, where like when you take damage, you can use your reaction to expend 1 spell slot and reduce that damage equal to the amount equal to 5 times the spell's slot level. I think that's real good. It's just, and also you can add your intelligence modifier to the damage of your melee weapon attacks with your blades on exactive.
Not to mention the extra attack is very nice.
The extra attack is nice, but like I said,
tossing a cantrip in there too.
Like Green Flame Blade, Booming Blade, very good. I played one of these for a one shot. It was really good. With like Tinser's transformation spell, you just rage out as a wizard. It's fun. It's a fun class. I still wouldn't use it as like a frontline fighter. Maybe like a skirmisher or like backline. And if people like get up on you, then you start blade singing. That's how I would use it. I wouldn't like go into the fray because again, you have D6 hit points. Like you're not.
I also don't think this is a top of the line wizard class.
No, I was expecting.
I mean,
based off
strong
this art for them to be able to summon like some sort of blade. I guess that's just not what wizards do, though, huh?
I mean, you can
it.
like Mordekainen's sword, which is not a good spell. Don't use it. But yeah, it's more like Elven. There, if you want to play, if you're really big into lore and you're playing in the Forgotten Realms and you want to like be a drow that worships Elestrae, this is basically that person. Play this class. Maybe talk to your DM. See if you can use cleric spells instead of wizard spells.
Definitely give these guys a really nifty or 2 weapon.
Yeah, like
then this class would be really cool.
It's very. I like it. It's very survivable. Maybe not as survivable as the Abjuration Wizard, but this by itself, I like the aesthetic of it.
Yeah,
that's just me.
Yeah.
You're still a wizard, but you can 1v1 people. Like a goblin runs up on you.
The least amount of writing for the entire.
Well, it shoves all the information in the smaller paragraphs.
It does. And I mean, that's, I think, a reason why wizards don't draw to me is because they're basically just spells.
Yeah.
But they get a lot of spells.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can find some other spells and write them into your book.
Yeah. So many people get spells. And spells aren't just like, I love picking a subclass because it's personal. It's something that I've picked and quirky. Wizards to me have always not quite seemed like, and these started off looking to me like it was that sort of class.
I mean, Order of Scribes, moving to that one is
like
very much. It's very much to me old-fashioned wizard through and through. This is the tried and true wizard theme class. It's cool. I like it.
Yeah,
play it.
It's like the wizard if you don't want to specialize in like a school of magic. This is like
what the tome lock should have been instead of a warlock class.
We've had this discussion, Bryce. I can't do that.
Like the wizard, if you like reading, you're gonna love this class because there's a lot of reading to this subclass.
Oh my god! Yeah. I don't even know if we can really get through all of this, but
basically,
do one of you have the summonation for this?
Basically, go ahead, Ryan, if you have something.
I don't think it does. It's your turn.
I mean,
you're off the bat. Can't get out of this.
You awake your spell book more or less. You create it to be able to do lots of fun, cool things.
It's basically like you make spell scrolls as well.
You get the wizardly quill going.
It's very. It is a very book friendly. Like if you want your wizard to be a very like book nerd, like bookish, very like all about their spell book. I'd say this is the wizard that you want to do.
Yeah, this guy that went to to some academy for a long time.
Yeah.
The 14th level one seems pretty interesting. Do you guys think it's lackluster at all?
I think it's all right.
Yeah, it seems pretty cool.
Oh yeah, you have advantage on all Arcana checks. That is just good in itself. I mean, 14th level may be a little too late for that, but it's still pretty good.
Like there's a reaction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was going to say it's kind of odd. Man. They shortened all of the subclasses from UA to this. And yet this one is so long, it's almost like reading a book. And then I go, are they making a joke? This is all about...
What? This wasn't in anything, right?
No, this is just
out of their minds.
Also,
Out of their minds.
another thing that I just read,
Good
can
job.
cast when you cast a wizard spell as a ritual, you can use the spell's normal casting time rather than adding 10 minutes to it.
Yeah.
Fancy.
That's
It's very
really
nice.
like if it's an action, but you want to cast it as a ritual, don't use a spell slot. Just boom, done. It's there. Like it's good.
boys.
I like it. Yes.
Yep.
We're coming up to 2 hours.
Yeah, that's the classes, dude. The classes are
That is the
done.
classes.
We did it. So, are we gonna run through this? I know I've got some things I want to mention, and I know Kenneth has a
I
thing.
mean,
he
we
wants to
could.
mention.
There's a lot of stuff in the next 100 pages that I do not
God.
want to touch on.
There's 100 pages next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is just
So-
the classes.
There's a lot of stuff in those 100 pages that I don't think we need to talk on. We just brush for like 20 seconds and move on.
Cool. So this is how we'll structure it. Let me go back to the table of contents, and we left off at wizard. Next up is feats. The only ones
Yeah.
that are noteworthy within this that we can talk about. Chef's pretty cool. I feel like
Dude,
just
I
mentioning that
love
because
Chef.
So
Chef is
good.
So cool.
I am 100% getting this at some point in my lifetime.
Are you gonna get it in the live play?
Dude, I can't say anything about
Ooh.
the live play.
Ooh, I
Alright,
can't.
fine.
I can't either.
I wrote so much on the plane, by the way. I'll talk
Oh,
about
yeah?
that
Planes are
next
good
time,
for.
Nice.
after the podcast itself.
Dude, next level up, my lizard folks getting chef. It's happening.
Basically, you increase your constitution wisdom score by 1, which is already great. Your proficiency with cooking tools, if you don't already
You get
have
to
it,
cook shit
you get to cook shit
It's
with a
good.
lot of stuff.
and help people.
I-
Any other
is that-
feats?
Wait, is that new? That they add a wisdom or con bonus? I don't know.
I don't know.
Cool.
All right, forget that.
Then you get all the ones that you steal stuff from the classes that we've already kind of touched on, which is
Eldritch
kind
Adept.
of-
You can take Eldritch Invocations. What the fuck?
I mean, it's not just that one. There's also one that you can do it for,
Meta Magic Adept.
meta magic. There's stuff where you can get things from fighter classes, from artificers.
I don't want to be that stubborn guy that is like, you can't take that thing. That's mine.
Well, I think they're trying to
Yeah, right.
discourage multi-classing in a way. but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it. I like Poisoner a lot. One of my
Yeah, that's
favorites.
pretty cool.
oh yeah.
Okie doke. So
Okay,
next
never
up, we've
mind,
got
it's fine.
group patrons, which if you have trouble trying to
Cool.
group people together, awesome. You do this, and then they're together.
I
Assignments.
think it leaves lots of potential for
Yeah,
cool stuff.
I definitely
Yes.
use it. Maybe not starting out. I mean, you could use it starting out, but if you're already into campaign, your group can just go like, "Hey, there's an adventurers guild here that I want to be a part of." Boom, you got
Yes.
group patrons.
It's a cool way to kind of, I don't think I'd use any of the ones in here. I might, but it's kind
It's
of
a good
cool to get
starting
you
off
thinking, about making a faction or making different things. It could be good to have ideas for one shots as well. Have this
Yeah.
be something that gives them a quest.
Can
I
we
love that it
mention-
gives you quests. Go
Can
ahead.
we mention the art down in the academy type where it's got wizardly boyfriends relaxing with their classmates
Yes.
as they practice magic? And it's the most wholesome image that I've seen probably in a source book ever. Okay.
It's cute.
It is really cute.
No
They
tieflings
look-
though.
They all look so relaxed. No tieflings. Is there a tiefling?
Rip teeth.
I don't see one.
Don't see one.
Rip tieflings. Cool. This is great fuel for making your own stuff, which is why I do personally recommend it. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I said we could probably move through this pretty quick because that's
Yes,
like 50
magical
pages.
miscellany. You get a bunch of
Woo!
spells. Is there any spell you guys want to talk about?
Yes.
Go ahead, Ryan.
Oh. I think Blade of Disaster is the worst 9th level spell I've ever seen.
What? That was in
I don't like it.
that was in Icewind Dale.
I don't like it. I don't like it there. I don't like it
Your
here.
blade shape planar rift 3 feet long and occupies space within range of blade has duration. We need to cast a spell, make 2 melee spell attacks with each blade. Once
It does a lot of damage, okay? Don't get me wrong. It does a lot of damage.
40, 12 force damage. Okay,
And
this
it's a
is low-
concentration. It can do it a lot. Okay, sure. Fine.
What?
But
This
I
is
would-
going in my Mystic Arcanum.
yeah, it's fine. But I would rather, if I had 9th level spells, I'd rather get a different 9th level spell than this, man.
This score. Oh, wait. Structure.
He's still reading it.
It might not work with.
Kenneth, do you like any spells in here?
A really weird one. Dream of the Blue
Boom.
Veil.
I'm with you.
I love it. It's players don't take the spell.
I agree.
Unless you want to really piss your DM off. Do not take the spell.
Well, not even that. I think there's much better transportation spells than this.
Oh yeah, definitely. So if you a quick summation, you and 8 willing creatures, you dream
like this spell.
for the duration, which is 6 hours. You have flashes of different worlds like Eberron or Toro or Orth or your own homebrew campaign, or another world. Once you're done, like doing the dreams, if no one wakes up by the end of it, no one's interrupted, you just teleport to a new world, basically.
Yes. You pull
Like-
back the blue curtain.
if
Wait.
if like you're in Forgotten Realms, like I'm tired of Forgotten Realms, I want to go to Eberron. Put an NPC in the game, cast a spell on him, boom, you're playing in Eberron now. I love it.
I can't help but you can only use this if your DM agrees with it. Like this is, hey guys, we want to change the campaign setting. Right? Am I wrong?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, or it's the end. You maybe finished up Strahd. Hey, let's go do something else.
Yeah, so this kind of, I'm sure this was just a ruling to be able to change your location, but this reminds me of the Adventure Zone a little bit. I can't go.
I think this is this is not a spell I think players should ever take. I think this is a great idea for DMs to have just fun ideas.
A spell that I
cool.
do think players should take is, if I can find it, any of the summon spells, but it is blah, 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 Spirit Shroud.
Yes, I love Spirit Shroud.
Spirit Shroud's great.
Yeah.
It's basically a concentration spell, bonus action to cast. Any attacks you make deal an extra d8 damage. Radiant, necrotic, or cold. They can't regain hit points until the start of your next turn. Any creature of your choice that you can see that starts within 10 feet of you has its speed reduced by 10 feet. You know how to kill a boss very quickly, make them not heal.
Yeah, that works.
Yep.
Any
Alright,
creature that
always
takes this
helps.
damage can't regain hit points. It's not those hit points, just hit points in general. It's basically the cantrip, the ghostly touch cantrip or whatever that makes it so
Or-
they can't heal.
I, as the DM, just give that creature 500 hit points. They don't need
Or-
to heal if they have so many.
Ooh. A lich with this, or like a wizard with this. Oh, you're trying to heal your friends? Boom. You ain't healing shit.
Heal this,
Do-
bitch.
Do you
Yeah.
guys like items?
I do, yeah, I love items, man.
Also,
Are there any items that
this-
you like?
the summon spells are great.
Yes.
And the
all of them.
personalizing spells, very cool.
Yes. Do you like items?
I love
I do, man. I love items.
We
I
just
love
had this
items.
conversation 5 seconds ago.
What items do you like from this book?
Tattoos, man.
That
Mhm.
is pretty cool.
Tattoos are great. Especially for
interesting.
like the... Go ahead.
The only thing I don't like about the tattoos is that you're not actually getting the whole tattoo on.
Mm-mm.
It's just like you kind of touch it and then there it is.
The ink like melts into your skin like some
I'd
body
rather
horror.
it be like etched and, you actually have to sit there for the time and get it on there.
Even though the art like looks like the guy's digging into his arm with it, like
Yeah, it looks very much like Harry Potter when the guy,
Mhm.
they touch their wands to the death mark or something. It kind of like wiggles around.
All right, so get this. Get this.
What's up, dude?
getting it.
Farum shard. That's a sorcerer
All the
item, right?
I love all the shards.
No. You get the Farum shard. You get meta magic adept on a warlock on the fathomless dude. More tentacles.
Love
But
it.
it's sorcerer.
Fuck.
Got him.
Why is
All the
what
shards
sorcerer-
all the shards are sorcerer based.
all the
Is
shards-
there a warlock one?
Which
Yeah.
I like having items that are based towards specific classes because I hate giving an item, to, and it's like says for cleric, this like 3 different classes, then they all fight over which one it's for.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I like having ones designated for certain classes.
Cauldron of Rebirth has attunement
Ooh.
by a druid or a warlock.
Is there a warlock only one?
No.
No, but
Why?
you already have one. It's called your tome or your hexblade.
That's
Yep.
so fucking dumb.
Guys, they gave us 5 artifacts in this book.
Dude, I love the artifacts in here.
Dude, here's a reason. This is one. I have 2 favorites. I couldn't choose between. So these are my 2 favorite magic items in this whole book. The Taroka Deck of Souls.
Very cool.
Nice.
You can just make great stories from it. And the actually there's 3. I lied. There's 3. I forgot about one. The teeth of Dalvernar.
The dragon, dude.
The dragon there's like 20
Yeah, that
teeth.
one's cool.
And then there's the servant of Liuko.
Yeah, that one's very cool.
Yeah.
I love how wacky and crazy they're.
it's great. Those are my 3 favorites. And they're also Baba Yaga. I love all the artifacts. I'll just say
Also
all the
notice
artifacts.
there's a lot of wizard books in here too.
Oh,
This
yeah.
Cauldron of Rebirth is dumb.
Dude, you're stupid.
I am sometimes. Yeah.
There's like a book for each school of magic, right?
Makes sense.
I think so, at least.
There's
There's a lot of wizard
There's
stuff.
only 2 warlock items in this whole thing.
Okay,
I think
man.
there's probably a decent amount of warlock items already in the game.
Yes, in the
Yeah.
DM's guide.
I just haven't seen them because I try not to look. I like being surprised around.
So
I-
items.
I think I liked every item in this book.
That's awesome.
It's very cool.
Their item game was strong.
I'm always looking for more items. I think, personally, the DM's guide ones are a little bit lackluster.
They're a little
And
bit,
I think I always like looking for third-party ones when I'm looking for magic items.
Yeah,
Like-
of the... Go ahead.
The dude, the guy that's Patreon.
Griffin
posts
Saddleback?
stuff in it. Yeah, Griffin. Check that guy out. Great items.
Cool, man. I like
So-
that stuff on Instagram a lot of the time.
The reason why I like all of the artifacts here, there's 6 artifacts. I lied. There's not 5. There's one more. All of them
Christmas.
can have a story to them. Like, you can give that to your players, and boom, instant quest or like instant story that you can go off of them. Like Baba Yaga's Morin Pestle, Croak of Rao, Demonomicon.
Oh, yeah.
It's great.
You know we're getting that
I
stuff.
love it.
Love it so much. So,
Final chapter? We
final
ready?
chapter, Dungeon Master's Tools, what I think is something that somebody should read through all the time if they're a new Dungeon Master, if they find themselves in a rut. To be quite frank. Session 0, which we have our own episode on forever ago.
Yeah,
quote unquote.
screw this chapter. Just go
Check
listen
out
to
ours.
Mhm.
But we
Session
basically
0.
say the same thing. These guys just go through it more constructively so that this is an
Love that.
official material people can read through. Love that they're putting it in there.
Fantastic.
You go back, you got stuff about sidekicks if you're running a group
Ooh.
of people that is a little bit smaller. Really cool things, specialists that can do
Very
things for
cool.
you, run little expeditions on the side, or help you in your own quests. There are a couple levels lower than
Sidekicks
you.
are great.
They are really great. You've got an expert, a spellcaster, a war expert, for example. It's like a thief, or they're really good at something, or a warrior. Really, really cool.
I think it's cool. I don't think I'll ever use it, though.
Flump
personally.
expert.
Flump expert. Flump expert. Parlaying with monsters.
Ooh.
Don't just kill them. There's another tiefling, by the way.
The fact that there's just a whole section giving you ideas on other ways instead of combat fixes part of our problem with what we said in the combat episode.
Oh, yeah. I really love that they did this to give examples of what you can offer to these monsters, what you can do, etc. You don't just have to kill them. Definitely give this a read and to add more flavor and more variety to your encounters in games. Going up next, the thing I read as supernatural religions at one point.
Yep.
Supernatural regions. This, I think, is my favorite thing in the entire book.
The
It's so
environmental
good.
hazards.
The environmental hazards. They're so unique. They're so
so
flavorful.
good.
Even if you don't use them, like there's a blessed Kirin shrine of things that show up and it freaks you out or it gives you a good thing. For example, of course, I love the Far Realm. If you go here, there's a thing itself that gives you an idea. If the warlock who chose an otherworldly patron that is a great old one rolls a 1 or a 20 on a D20 for an ability check, well, in this thing, the characters or that can proc something on this list. And there's some crazy stuff. And that's really unique. Somebody said, if there's a warlock with this specific situation, this happens. And for each location that you're going to most certainly have in your game.
Well,
This stuff's
my problem with this though is what's the Far Realm like?
This is
Has
one
WotC
person's
talked
interpretation.
about it? No, I'm saying WotC has not given any information on the Far Realm really, besides just like a couple paragraphs.
Yeah.
I really think, hear me out for a second. Let's make a planer book for 5th edition. Go through each plane, talk about them all. Hey, let's have a whole chapter in the Far Realm. That'd be nice. Then then people could actually go there and not just be like, you're floating in nothingness.
You
Let
open the
me-
book and
come
you
on.
just go insane.
Hey, I'll help you out, Ryan. Let me just finish my campaign right now. That's all about going to all the other planes. And once I finish that up, that's when they'll print the book.
Yeah.
You don't need it. You were
That'd be
better than
great
that.
for you.
Kenneth. They're actually recording your phone right now. Listen.
There are some fantastic
Wow.
planer books for previous editions, which they
Oh yeah.
could literally just probably copy and paste most of it because it's system agnostic.
Which,
The art for these things too looks insane, especially the haunted world is really cool looking.
I know yours, Braxton. Your favorite is Far Realms, right?
Well, yeah.
Which one's yours, Ryan? The favorite
Favorite
region?
plane?
No, the region.
Oh, favorite region.
Mhm.
I would say it's a toss up between
down.
toss up between Far Realm
I'll take
and Haunted, but I
Yep.
love Infested and Mirror Zone.
I love the infested one. Just coming up to a town covered in spider webs.
Yeah, the picture in that
It's
so just paints some ideas in your head.
Yeah. So to be quite frank, if you're somebody who's looking for references for magical and inspiring places here, this is a resource that you're going to want to get your hands
This
on.
is shit.
This is your shit.
very good.
This is what I was talking about at the beginning of the first episode that I think people should get this book for solely. Puzzles. why puzzles?
Okay, don't use these puzzles, guys. I'll be
Yeah, I
frank.
agree.
Do not use these.
puzzles.
Don't use these puzzles, but do you like the why puzzles thing?
The which one?
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I think puzzles. I think the I've actually had this conversation before when we were talking about making dungeons. How a lot of DMs instead of will be giving the puzzle to the player, not to the character.
Mhm.
And there's a lot of times where the character is much smarter than the player is, and the player can't figure it out, but their character probably would.
Yeah.
They won't give them DC hints. I love that there's a whole section on giving hints to the players in here. That's very important.
Very, very important. We did skip over magical phenomenon and natural hazards, but that kind of goes hand in hand with the supernatural regions.
Mimic
Awesome.
colony, yeah.
That
Emotional
I don't.
echoes.
I don't want to run into that ever in my entire life.
I really do like the emotional echoes, though. That's very
Yeah,
good.
that's
You're in a
cool.
place. Yeah. This whole chapter 4 is chock filled with ideas to put in your own campaign.
Yeah.
Like,
And it's something that's not a part of another source book, an adventure. It's just here for you. I don't remember if Xanathar's guide or
That's the
guide
one,
to
yeah.
everything else had stuff like this.
they
But
just had like rules,
yeah,
really. Like
This
how to
is
do
stuff that's-
traps better.
yeah. This is stuff that Ryan and I have been talking about for quite some time, or at least on the podcast. So awesome. And then there's the credits. So make sure to read those and see who wrote this wonderful thing. There's a little cauldron that's all happy looking.
I'd recommend instead of these puzzles, check out like Grimtooth's traps. They have
Yes.
some
Yeah.
great stuff in there.
Absolutely.
Just go to the DM's Guild, honestly, and just type in puzzles. You'll probably get some that are really good.
Yeah, these puzzles, your players will not get them. It is so abstract, like so giant leaps in logic. Like, thanks WotC for having that much faith in players, but sometimes we're dumb.
Can I mention the disclaimer?
What's up, man?
Disclaimer. Contained herein are the observations of the Archmage Tasha, later known as the Witch Queen and then Igwilv. She is one of the greatest wizards in the history of the multiverse. We fear there is an incantation hidden within these notes and have therefore bound this tome with powerful wards. If you are reading this, the first ward has already been broken. If you dare read any further, we cannot guarantee the safety of your soul or that you won't open a portal to another plane of existence. If a portal does appear, pray that nothing worse than Tasha's mother, Baba Yaga, appears. And if the Mother of Hag arrives, be sure to offer only praises of her daughter or offer muffins. She loves muffins.
Me too.
Apparently that's a Critical Role reference, like
Really?
a jester
really?
one. Yeah, that's what Jamie was saying.
That's insane.
I feel like we probably should read that at the beginning, personally.
It's at the very bottom of the entire context.
Yeah,
for me, so my apologies.
the book disclaimers for all of the WotC books are very cute.
That is awesome. And all the language in this book is great. The
That's
subclasses,
cautious.
I would say it's like 40% hits and 60% misses with some of
Really?
the subclasses. Yeah,
I think it's a little. I'd flip it.
I'd flip
that.
it as well.
well, I
That's because
like.
you hated the warlock ones.
Yeah.
We liked.
So yeah, there you go. I mean, for barbarian, I like the beast. We could go through all of them, but I'd say
Well, we
I
did.
like at least
We could go
one
through
of them. I like at least one of them or none of them for all. That's how I got the 40-60.
Now,
What's up, man?
reading through this book again, has your opinion changed on it at all after like talking with you guys?
No, I've got about the same opinion. I think a little more of the warlock, but I still hate them.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
I like it.
Yeah,
I get
still recommend getting pieces of this or buying the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you should skip on reading at least one section from this book.
Just even if you're a dungeon master, I say still get it. Like
Mhm.
items, the stuff in the back, it's cool.
I mean, as a dungeon master, the tool bag I think you should have, and it increases unfortunately with everything they release, but you should have the Xanathar's guides. You should have something for extra beasts. You should have, of course, your player's handbook, and maybe this book. I say maybe.
I
That's
sure
my,
hope
like,
you
Dungeon
bought them all on that
Master's
Cyber Monday sale on
Hey,
D&D Beyond.
Cyber Monday just ended 50
Yeah.
minutes ago. For us,
I like this book. I like it.
Yeah.
I just want more. WotC, don't do it like every 3 years. Like, come on,
That
give us
planner book will
something
come.
more. I know. I'm not talking just about a
I don't know
planner
if it
book.
will.
Just like a
No.
source book. Like,
I
give us
wanna-
more classes. Give us more subclasses. Like, I know we
I wanna
just
leave
got
an
some.
open-ended
but-
question though, Kenneth, that I think you might have an opinion or two on. And I know Ryan and I have talked about this probably on the podcast. Do you want more books for 5e, or do you want another 5th edition version or 6th edition? What do you think? Player's Handbook 2?
I want. Okay, now I'm kind of biased because I'm a whale for D&D.
Holy shit! I mean, yeah, that's very true. You can see all his books right there.
Yeah, on my D&D books right here. I want more books that are not adventures, because the adventures are not well written most of the time.
Damn.
Like they are. You can take a lot of the books I have. I'm never going to run them. I just steal like an encounter or like a dungeon or something from them. Right?
Have you read the Pathfinder Adventure Paths?
I have. Yeah.
Much better.
They are a lot better. I want more source books like this, because it's been, 6 years since 5th edition came out, and we've gotten 2 player source books, Xanathar's and Tasha's, in 6 years.
What about settings? You like setting books?
I love setting books. I really do. I like the Magic the Gathering setting books, right? It's just that I the adventures, guys, come on, get better. Like, either they always stress about they want quality over quantity.
Yeah.
Then that's why they're not releasing as many books.
I like that philosophy generally.
I generally like that philosophy, but the quality that they're releasing of like adventures, it's not great. Their source books are good. I will concede their source books are good.
I will say it's gotten better.
It has gotten better.
Dale. I think that was a step up. Granted, it was 2 separate adventures in one book, so that might be cheating, WotC. But still, I liked it better than the other ones.
Let's just leave it at Strahd and Waterdeep. And
Strahd's got some problems too.
But for like an example, Pathfinder 2nd edition, right? It's been out for what, a year and a half, something like that.
Yeah.
They have their really, as me and Ryan have pointed out, that their adventure paths are really well written. And a year and a half later, after 2nd edition has come out for that, they have like 3 or 4 new classes and new subclasses for every class.
Yeah.
They work their ass off.
Yeah. And I just wish WotC would do the same, man.
Well, like, how many extra books they made for Pathfinder 1 edition. They had a lot of extra stuff. They had I don't know how many adventure paths. It's insane the amount of stuff they put out, but in the amount of time that WotC's put up stuff for this.
But here's the thing. They put out all that stuff, right? But it was still like good quality.
Yes. The amount of adventure paths that they released that all are top tier, and then you look at the amount WotC's released and the amount of them that are bottom tier.
It's like embarrassing.
I don't know what they're doing.
I don't know, man.
Chris Perkins, step it up.
Don't be afraid to try new things, basically. Check it out. See what you like.
They are the Pathfinder podcast now.
We were never the D&D podcast. It's just what we've been doing for a long time. But yeah,
this is our longest podcast now. 2 hours, 20 minutes.
2 hours and 20 minutes. This is now our longest podcast. Thank you if you listened through the whole thing or did it in segments. Is the word.
Remember when we thought we could do it all in one go?
Hey, let's go.
It would literally have been get on. Hey, this is good. Goodbye. Episode done. That is the only way we could have done this.
Yeah.
Or we would have been like, armor, yes or no? Yes. No. Okay, done. Artillerist, yes, and that would have been it.
Yeah.
But that's not us, man. That is not us.
Then you've got D&D Beyond themselves doing like hour-long videos on each subclass. So definitely go get those out.
No. Don't do that. Wait till we release our own class-based podcast and listen to ours.
Hey, but isn't what the people want just longer episodes?
Don't people want longer episodes,
but,
Braxton? Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. I might be remiss if I mention this or upset. I don't know what that word even means. I've heard it used sometimes. I wanted to seem cool. Did you guys have DM's Guild stuff that you wanted to mention, or should we just save that for next time?
Yeah, I mean, we'll be quick about it.
Yeah.
Be quick about it.
Sure. Why not?
So this Tasha's Crucible of Everything, Volume 1, go check that out. It's from a lot of really good people. I highly recommend it. Unfortunately, it will no longer be on sale as time of this recording. But it's only $20.
Is it worth the full price?
Yeah, I'd say so. There's 27 new subclasses in there, 3 remastered subclasses. They changed some stuff. A lot of new spells, some new magic items, and some new Dungeon Master tools. It's similar to the one that they did for the Xanathars. I recommend it. It's
Awesome.
good stuff.
Kenneth?
I got three quick things here. If you ever wanted to like harvest animals or creatures from Mordecai and Stone of Foes, you can do that now
Yeah.
with Hammond's Harvesting Handbook. If you ever want to run planar adventures and want way more information than what WotC gives you in the DM's guide, there's Codex of the Infinite Planes. That's gonna be about $20. It goes like a page, like a couple pages into each plane, adventures, what to do in there, what places are located, like what cities you'll find in these planes, kind of vibe, and like quests, things you can do, why you would be there, what happens to you when you go here. Very cool. And then if you wanted to do like horror themed or a more of like a Asian or Japanese theme monsters, there's the Yokai Compendium, which has all sorts of crazy demons and fiends from Kitsune to Oni. There's things that will kill your players with. It's great.
All right.
All right, so just came out, guys. Everyone, go grab
now?
this right now. Well, it's not out, but it will. It will be out in approximately a few
3
months.
minutes?
I don't know. I'm
Oh,
not good at math,
months.
man.
Oh,
It's not now.
But it's a Kickstarter. It's a Kickstarter. It's a
Okay.
Kickstarter. Go back it. You got 30 days 31 days from the day of this recording. It's called Southlands 5th edition, A Realm of High Adventure by Kobold Press. Kobold Press does fantastic, amazing work. It just came out. I've already backed that bad boy.
Oh
This
my
is like
goodness.
it's very much deserty.
When are you gonna run
Uh,
it?
Dude, it's desert shit.
All right, I like.
I guess we haven't been there
deserts.
yet. I'll try.
It
to
could
keep
happen.
I'm gonna try
but
to keep the party from going to the Yukani in our campaign. Okay.
for another few months. Yeah,
As long as we
no,
can.
I got that pimped out. But
Oh.
Southlands, it's like if you wanted a Dark Sun 5th edition, this is gonna be what
okay.
you're kind of looking for.
All right.
Dark Sun.
Fancy.
It's desert cool stuff. You'll like it.
I will also attest for Kobold Press's quality.
So good.
So good.
They have yet to release a book I haven't liked.
Is that it?
Yeah, if you've stuck around this whole podcast, thumbs up. Thanks for listening. Give us 5 stars on iTunes. I'm jumping the gun, dude. Screw
Jump the
it.
gun. It's okay.
Drop us 5 stars on iTunes. Say I was here. I listened to the whole podcast. Kenneth is the best guest on the podcast ever. I
He's
think
the
we
only
only
guest
had,
aside from Jamie. who-
we've
Hey,
had Jamie.
Don't.
So
yeah.
you got that going for you.
Appreciate it.
Type in there. Just I don't know. Type Braxton is wears cool hats. Type that into the review. Hit it after you rate us 5 stars. It really boosts us up in the iTunes algorithm and gets more lovely listeners to check us out.
Of course, if that's not enough for you, you can always
Oh,
message
and
us on social media.
Hang on, man. You can also hop over to our YouTube channel. It's in the description, or you can go to youtube.com, type in the Dungeon Crawl podcast. Will pop up. You'll see YouTube versions of the podcast, video stuff from now on, hopefully.
Now on,
And-
video's not scuffed, I promise.
And the plan is in the future to, maybe publish other types of YouTube videos on there, things that don't fit in the podcast format. Go subscribe. Check us out.
Oh yeah.
Take it away,
And
Braxton.
now that I'm no longer interrupted, if you're interested in talking to us, quick like on social media or something, you want to see our pictures, you can find us at Dungeon Crawl Pod on Twitter, on Instagram. If you want to send us a longer message responding to each point we made in this thing, or whatever the hell you want to do. I know a lot of you like to write. I like to read it now that I have that capability, apparently. Message us at thedungeoncrawlpod@gmail.com. This is where I would usually segue to the iTunes thing, but Ryan took that. The train is now caboose first. This has been the Dungeon Crawl. He's Ryan.
He's Braxton.
That's Kenneth down
Hello.
Down there.
below. Hope you like this new layout. Take care. Thank you so much for listening to this one. There's been a lot of new interest in the podcast, and it's been really great to see it, and it's really fun to do this. Thanks for
We'll
being here.
see you next week
thank you.
with who knows what.
Yeah, thank you
I was about
guys
to
for
say,
having
do
me
you know
on.
what we're doing? Because I don't. Yeah, Kenneth.
Yeah,
Thanks
Kenneth,
for joining.
any final words till next time you're on?
Until you beep out of existence.
Just thank you guys for having me on and keeping with the Thanksgiving vibes. I'm thankful for you guys for doing this podcast and just inviting me on, and I'm proud of you guys.
Thanks, man.
Yeah,
This is a lot
you're
of
very
content to
welcome.
cover.
Well, thanks, man. You know
You
what?
kept me steady during the Warlock thing.
Well, yeah, I feel like we were kind of yelling at you during the wall. I apologize.
Maybe that's
man.
what I
You know,
needed.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
that's
I'm
what I
sorry.
needed.
Now, I want to jump back an hour and a half, how long it was, and say, you know what, Braxton? I'm sorry for coming to you so aggressively. If you don't like the Warlocks, that's fine. Just play Sorcerer. There you go.
Got him.
On that
All right,
note,
guys.
see you later.
Take care.
Have a good one.